Let's go. You say the evidence is clear. Your mind is full of me, Baba. Hey, the evidence is clear. I cannot even explain it. Yo, I have tasted and I've seen. What you say is true. There's evidence you're who you say you are. See, when I look at my right, when I look at my left, when I look at my back, yeah, when I look, if I am honest, you say, I will see your reason, I say, if I am honest, I will see your reason to praise the Lord. My brother, you may not have gotten everything. I know you've got something. You say, I say, if I am honest, Lord, I will see. Yeah. 1, 2. And everything that you do, Lord, it is good. The way that you love me, I know it is good. You say, anything that's been on the thing, go. It's everything that's been along. One more time. Everything that you do, Lord, it is good. The way that you love me, I know it is good. Oh man! Everyone that's been on the bingo is making me dancing along. Listen, when I look at my right, when I look at my left, when I look at my back, when I look at, yeah, you're surrounded. If I am honest, oh, I will see a reason to praise the Lord. I say, if I am honest, oh, I will see a reason to praise the Lord. I say, if I am honest, I will see a reason to praise the Lord. My brother, you may not have gotten everything. I know you've got something. A reason to praise one more time. Everybody, if I am honest, oh, I will see a reason to praise the Lord. Those who call on my God, those who call on Him, those who call on His name, He has promised to save. Come, let us pray. Somebody lift up your eyes, oh. Everybody, come. You got to lift up your eyes, oh. Everybody, lift up your lift up your eyes, oh. Listen, the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. The Lord is my shepherd. I will never be stranded. Hey! Yeah. Oh yeah, now let's sing it for them. I 1, 2, 3, just. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. I can hear you in the room. The Lord is my shepherd. You will never be stranded. I shall not want. Yeah. Oh. You ain't singing like we mean it, so you need to shout it. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. Yeah. I need to hear them sing it. All the music, only your voice. You say, hey. I can't hear you. Yeah. Oh, you sing it for the very last time. Let's go. I 1, 2, 3. The Lord, oh. The Lord is my shepherd. somebody to help me come and turn my life around. I can't explain it, oh. I can't obtain it, oh. Jesus, your love is so amazing, oh. It takes me out to the, and when I take over, yeah. Stop for the enemy. Stop for the enemy. Stop for the enemy. Stop for the enemy. Everybody. Stop for the enemy. I can hear you. Hold the music. Hold the music. Are you there? Okay. Are you there? Now listen. It doesn't matter what comes your way. You've got to stop on your enemies. Are you ready now? We're gonna do it again. Hey, lately I've been going through something that really got me. I need somebody to help me.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome back. Do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. Welcome, Chinye. How you doing? Good to see you, Chinye. Good to see everybody. Help me hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications. I haven't been here in a minute, so we have to ginger the algorithms. You know what I'm saying? So hit the like button, share everywhere, so we can have we're gonna have a good time regardless. So welcome back. Hope you guys. Chinye says this rendition of Stomp is not a joke. You know, Nigeria know they carry last. If we carry something, we know they carry last. We have to had our own ginger, Niger ginger to it. You know what I'm saying? But yes, welcome back. That was Toby Richard Jeff. I like him. I just discovered him not too long ago, maybe in the last 3 months or so. As you know, we have a lot of things to talk about. We have quite a few things to talk about today. I want to do shout out to all my sponsors, all our supporters. Chinye, I appreciate you. Chinye, all the regulars, I appreciate you. And if you're brand new here today, please consider subscribing. Basically what we do is we extract life and relationship lessons from trendy topics. My name is Ola, and I'm here running this platform, Men of Prestige. And basically in real life, I am a marriage relationship coach. I also coach in other capacities, but that's what we focus on here, just life and relationships. All right, so I appreciate you for being here. We try to address many issues here. We try to address them from an empathetical standpoint, but sometimes I do get caught up in my emotions too. You know, emotions is like change. It's like obering. It's like obering. You know, it is what it is. You have to, you know, you can choose to cry about it or whine about it, or you know, or learn how to navigate life. Life is a beautiful thing. Once you master how to navigate life, life is a beautiful thing. All right, so let me see here. All right, hopefully there's not too much background noise coming from here. I feel like there's a lot of background noise. Hold on 1 second. Where's that noise coming from? All right. Anyway, the mic is right here by my mouth, so you guys should be fine. All right. So we have a lot of topics to cover today. Definitely want to touch on. Definitely want to touch on the Natasha Akpoti update. Some updates from that situation. Definitely want to talk about the new Nwebonyi and Ezekwesili. Dr. Ezekwesili and the Senator Nwebonyi. Definitely want to touch on Timi Dakolo and Femi Lazarus. Did you guys see that? Oh yeah, definitely want to talk about that, and maybe some other things. You know, we'll see how far we can go with today. Today I just want to chill. I'll see what we can learn, 1 or 2 things, and then we'll take it from there. All right, so without any further ado, like I said, all the links, if you want to reach out to me, you want to talk to me, you want a consultation, you can go. First of all, you're required to attend a 72 minutes class. You can see the link in the description box below. You have to attend the 72 minutes class, and then we can you can decide if you want to take it further from there. If you don't have enough patience to go through a 72 minutes class, then I can't help you. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. So with that being said, we're just gonna go ahead and dive right into some of this trendy stories around the world. Yeah, I'm trying to see where to start from. Okay, I think we know where to start from. All right, I'll be right back.
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, welcome back. So we have this. Let me show you. I saw this young lady on TikTok and I thought we should review. If you remember, there was a video that was everywhere, a video from the OWNS TV, right? The mother-in-law. Okay, so today, as you can see, the title says Nigerian mother-in-laws versus single mothers. So I have one or two things to say about that in a few minutes, and then we jump right into the other stuff. These are two things that I want to be careful talking about. This sensitive topic, but I just feel like there's a very, very strong message that I need to pass along here before we get too far into some of the conversation today. If you remember on OWNS TV, there's this show called Family or Fiance, right? Young lady was her mother-in-law went crazy on her. Basically I reviewed that a few videos ago if you want to go watch that. And I saw another clip today that added a little bit more context to it. Like I've always said, we need context in these conversations to really, we have to be careful not to judge, because we don't have the full context when they have cameras in people's face. Nonetheless, we try to be as gracious, as empathetical as possible to the situation. And but I always look at things from a standpoint of downstream effect. What behavior causes other bad behaviors, and how far can we go with that? Because everybody's reacting to something, so you can't really turn around and say, I was reacting, you made me do it. You can, but there's only so far you can go with that, because you will never finish going through that rabbit hole. Who caused what and who caused what? You have to be responsible for your own reactions. Your reactions are the actions you're responsible for, and it doesn't mean we can't hold people accountable. Like, for example, this case of Natasha, we have to be careful. We have to hold people accountable, you know, when we're dealing with these issues. So I'm going to play a little bit of this, and then we'll take it from there so we can get some context.
This is ready to go to the table.
Babe, you did a good job.
Thank you, love.
Here you go.
So you can see the young lady serving. They're playing music. I don't want that music to tamper with us here. So they're eating, and then they start talking. Let's see what he's saying.
I was able to share some things with your family, especially with your mom, and hopefully assuring her that I have no.
So it looks like this one is after the scene. It might be after the scene that we saw earlier on. She said she shared some things with mom. Maybe mom is more understanding now. Again, it's very easy to take these people out of context, because TV producers are paid millions upon millions of dollars to sensationalize this kind of stuff. Welcome, Marriott. Good to see you.
No plan to take you away. What about you?
My task was putting things in order. God, mother, finance or money, fiance
God, mother, finance, or money, putting things in order, right?
or social life.
Or social
Can you
life.
guess where you came on that?
Can you guess where you came in on that? Do you guys remember what I said about this young man? Can you guys recall what I said about him? If I blamed anybody, I blamed him, right? You know, I think the statement he made was that, you know, you just broke her heart. It's like, your wife, 14. He just broke her heart as well. You know, but what did he just say now? He aligned God, mother, finance, you, and social life, and then he's about to put them in order.
Spectrum.
I know it was after God.
He said, where do you end up on that spectrum?
And can you guess where you came on that spectrum?
Can you guess where you came on that spectrum? Gentlemen, you never have to do this kind of ranking in your life. If you have to do this kind of ranking for you to comprehend, I know life is complex. I get it. And sometimes you feel the need, you must put one thing ahead of the other, right? I get it. And yeah, it's true. Sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes you have to make very tough decisions, but you don't have to say some things out loud. Some things are better left unsaid. Wait, why can't we just say it? No, listen to me carefully. Okay, I'll just wait until you collect.
I know it was after God.
She said, I know it was after God, and then they show Mama's face. Hey, Mama is like, this girl is trying to trigger me again. Lord, if this was before, does it still warrant the Mama's behavior? Well, if it was after, would you give Mama some credit? Okay, it's not about credit, but anyway, I just want you to see when you take a little bit longer to listen to some context, you might just find yourself at least almost changing your mind, because it gives you a little bit more of the truth that you thought you knew.
But no.
You were number 2, right after God.
You are number 2 right after God. You never have to say it out loud. Priority does not necessarily mean you're ranking one person over the other. Okay, having priorities on how you handle issues does not mean you put a person over another. The issues is what you're prioritizing, not the persons. If you have multiple people in relationship with you, I'm not talking just romantic relationship, and sometimes you have to prioritize issues as a general, as a king, as a leader of any type. Yes, but the idea that you must say it out loud that you are, it just spells out you don't know what you're doing, and it's no wonder why the woman went crazy. Or some people say, no, the girl is mannerless. Okay, whatever. Okay, but you are getting with a mannerless person. Can you at least hold yourself accountable to that level? Do you at least understand that you'll be responsible for managing whatever a mannerless woman brings to the table?
Do you feel like he was going to put his mom above you? Is that what it is?
Do you feel like he was going to put his mama above you? Is that what it is? These are crazy, crazy conversations. It's no wonder people struggle in all of these relationships.
I wouldn't be surprised.
She said, I won't be surprised. She still doesn't feel safe. In fact, you already put her as number 2 next to God, and she's still looking at you. She doesn't know what she's feeling, but she knows it's wrong. Because now you're making her an enemy against your mother. How's that for being a man?
When Jide is married to you, you are one in his
Mama said, when Jide is married to you, you are one.
life.
And I'm sorry if my actions made it look otherwise.
And he's still apologizing to his woman, saying, I'm sorry if my actions made you feel otherwise. He doesn't get it, does it?
We had some other conversations other than that. We did talk a little bit about the abuse.
All right, so she's gone through some abuse. And I'm going to scroll this forward to a point where they were talking about the mama, Nigerian mother-in-law is actually a single mother. I think somebody was it Marriott that was talking about that last time? That she was a single mother. If she had a prick at home, maybe she wouldn't behave as such. I don't necessarily agree with that, but it can be a factor. It can influence how you behave in public, absolutely. But they are confirming here that they are from a single mother household.
I'm saying it was taken away from me because he didn't do what he was supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
He was taken away from me. So circumstances can make people a single mother. It's the reason why anybody who finds the need to shame single mother, particularly shame, the keyword shame. There's a difference between shaming and talking about some of the risk of being a single motherhood or perpetuating single motherhood or over celebrating the idea of single motherhood. I don't even know if that's a thing. That may even come off as offensive because people don't just decide to find themselves in single motherhood. But the point is that even every solution that was created to be a solution will create new problems. Listen to what I just said. Even things that were pre-planned to be solutions will create new problems. It's called human beings, the human experience. It's not perfect. It is what it is, in an evolving thing. So you have to pay attention to, this is not a shot. It's just seeing life as it is. Anytime you create something beautiful, trust me, in a blind spot somewhere, a problem is being created, and that's why you can't be absolute. You cannot make up your mind that culture or something or some kind of ideology you attached to it is the end all be all. It can't be, because life simply doesn't work like that, right? So you have to pay attention to, every time there's a good time going on, there's something good going on, you have to pay attention that you're probably in a blind spot somewhere creating new problems. Is that a bad thing? No, not necessarily, because problems is basically what makes the world goes around, right? It's just to be aware. Okay, so again, not a shot, just some things I want you to pay attention to here. If you're a single mother, first of all, stop explaining yourself, because like I said, anybody could end up being a single mother. It sounds like they lost somebody. Maybe somebody went to jail or somebody died. People become widows, right? That they didn't call for that, but that's life, right? Unfortunately, for some people.
Time in Cali. In those times, I could have been like, yo, bro, I'm in Cali. Let's meet up. Let's link. You know what I'm saying? It was taken away from me because he didn't do what he was supposed to do.
He was taken away because he didn't do what he was supposed to do.
He didn't do what he was supposed to do.
Do you want to have a relationship with our father?
Okay, the father still exists somewhere. Do you want to rehab the relationship with our father? And she's smiling.
The only thing that I want is to make sure I have a relationship with you.
The only thing that I want is to make sure that I have a relationship with you.
But our father, I have no energy, no will to really try.
She doesn't want to have a relationship with a father that is existing somewhere. Is that her fault? No. She was probably the child in the equation, right? So how can we make that our fault? Anyway, that aside, now I'm moving on into this part. So how has that created? Remember, every time we're talking about this kind of thing, they create new conversations. They create new problems. They create new, opportunities. Problems are opportunities to learn more. Problems, crisis, conflicts are opportunity to grow. So they are basically opportunities for you to become a better version of yourself. At least I know in Nigeria, we were trained to avoid problems at all cost. That's a problem. Yeah, that's a problem. Let me see. Marriott is feeding me up here. She said they are ghetto twins, 2 different moms, 8 months apart. Oh wow. Oh wow, that is crazy. That is crazy. That's crazy. Okay, so that sheds another level of light on it. I see Charles Randolph. That is a very random name with no face. But welcome. Charles Randolph. That's 2 first names. Interesting. All right. No single motherhood is a choice. Dude needs to run. This is garbage. All right. So let's see. The dude, you haven't listened to the full story. Interesting. Dude needs to run from who? His mother. His mother was the single mother from his mother. All right. So maybe listen to the story a little bit more. Then I'll come back. So now let's get back to this story. So that story gave birth to this auntie making this comment. Listen to this.
The Nigerian mother-in-law shouting at that African American lady on TikTok. I am your mother-in-law. When I tell you to bring the plate, you bring the plate. When I tell you to wash the plate, or whatever it is they were arguing about. It is our culture.
So it is our culture. Remember that she was saying it is our culture. In our culture, you have to respect your mother-in-law, blah, blah, blah. Basically, she blamed her conduct on culture, right? We know that's kind of bullshit anyway. Now, this young lady is responding to it, and she's going to respond with a certain level of bullshit too, right? She's going to ask you to run away too. Everybody's asking to run. Run from who? Running from yourself? Everywhere you turn around, your shadow is right there with you. You can't run from your shadow. You can't. You can't. Your shadow is everywhere you go. Everywhere you point, when you point fingers, at least 3 of those fingers are pointing at you at any point in time. That's why judgmental people are weirdos, like Jesus said. By the way, we're all judgmental to an extent. Okay, the point here is to make you aware of it and push against yourself. Okay, because when you throw stones, Yoruba people sọ pé tá bá sọ̀kò sọ́jà ara ilé ẹni ló ń bá. How do I translate that? Jesus help me. When you throw stones into a marketplace, it will hit your family member. Okay. Earlier on today, my wife and I were coming from the gym, and as soon as we were pulling off the gym, somebody pulled in and basically no lights on, just cut us off and was trying to park. And both of us at the same time, I know me and my wife would do this. They were like, "Weary." We just said "weary" randomly. Well, what a foul language! Exactly. That's how we talk. Anyway, like we just said "weary," and then I looked at the car. The car looks like my brother's car, and we live kind of like very close. Like he could have a membership at my gym. I don't know. He changes gym like gym rat. But anyway, I was like, that could be my brother. I was like, and then I laughed about it. I said, well, and then he said, oh well, like tabasoko soja ara ile eni lo nba. So when you're judging, just remember that it could be anybody. You want to judge single mother? You want to judge mother-in-law? You want to judge any part of the society, feminist? You want to judge them? It could hit you. So again, we can call out some issues without making it about the persons, right? And you can also have preferences without being so loud, nastily, without being so loud, like a mannerless person. About your preferences. Your preferences are your preferences. They are perfectly fine. But there's a point you get to where you're expressing it and you're just trying to tell us something else, that you're just a nasty person. All right. Let's listen. She's still talking. She's going to talk. Now, I'm not talking about this young lady. She's talking about the issue, right? I don't know her personality, so I don't know. I'm just talking about the issue she's talking about. So she's speaking about the Nigerian mother-in-law.
Now, you see one thing about horse, actually, wait, why am I saying horse? I have to let you know I'm Nigerian, Abby. We've got age factor. I play too much. But you know one thing about us Nigerians, yeah? We use disrespect as culture. Like, the amount of cultures we have, even me as a Nigerian, I've missed it. I've forgotten it. Because, boy, no mother-in-law is talking to me like that. You and who? No mother-in-law is talking to me about it, because what are you? I don't care how old you are. You're not going to speak to me like that. That's disrespectful. You're not going to speak to another human like that. And honestly, this is one thing I always say to non-Nigerians that marry into Nigerian family. These are part of the edicts you're going to face. We've seen it all over social media where some...
So it's not necessarily true that you're definitely for sure going to face this part of... You're going to face mother-in-laws anywhere you go in the world. This is not a Nigerian thing. Yes, that woman was blaming it on culture. She's wrong. But you're going to face mother-in-laws anyway. How do I know? Because I have examples, very close personal examples to me. Mother-in-laws on both sides. People from the Caribbean, people, white woman, mother-in-law showed up exactly like mother-in-law show up. I know it's easy for us to blame culture, just like it was easy for the woman to blame culture. So again, when you're not well-rounded in your assessment of these issues, if you're coming from a super what's the word I'm looking for? When it's just your personal experience, that's what I'm looking for, right? When you're coming from that level, you're probably going to be wrong. There's a higher chance you're going to be wrong. Because human behavior is human behavior. When you enter people's territory and they get caught up in their emotions, they will push against you, even if you are right and they are wrong at the same time.
Ladies have come out to talk about, oh my God, marrying into Nigerian, besides the Nigerian man. Sometimes they even marry an amazing Nigerian man, but it is the family members, the way they give them hell. And we call it culture. Come on, we need to stop this behavior. We need to stop it. It's not good. We need to stop it. You're giving patients Ozoku. Come on, you're giving Madagagu. Stop. We, all of Nigerians and all Nigerian women are not like this.
So I have a personal example of a white woman who acted actually exactly like this, and she actually took it to another extent and she made some very racist comments against my first cousin. So again, the argument fell dead on arrival, like Natasha Akpoti's case. So,
Stop spoiling us and making us look like we are witches and wizards when we're not. Some mother-in-laws, even us Nigerian, some of us Nigerian women, I'm sorry, we cannot marry into certain family. The minute I meet a mother-in-law and she's acting like Patience Ozoku or she's acting like Mother Gagu like that, I'm leaving your son. Because Kilode.
all right, very nice point. Now, she made that point, okay, but I think a lame man decided to enter her chat. Again, when you point fingers, even including me right now, I'm pointing 3 at myself, right? There are women of all cultures that will act out of character is the word. Shown exactly like that, they don't necessarily always show up like the auntie on own TV yelling at the top of her lungs, losing her voice. They don't always show up like that. Sometimes they show up in very passive aggressive way. Sometimes they will literally shut you out as the new daughter-in-law to be. They will literally give you the silent treatment, and sometimes that hurts even more. So, but it's still out of character. It's still they're responsible for their behavior, by the way. But what I'm saying is that you're not solving the problem when you make it about how she yelled, or when you make it about culture. You're not solving the problem. You're not solving for the problem. You're not addressing the real issue, is what I'm getting at here. And running away from these issues is like running from your own shadow. It will catch up with you. It's like the truth. It will always catch up with you from a blind spot. And we will talk about how to handle these kind of issues when they happen. All right, so let's see here. Welcome, Isabel Chukura. Welcome. Feels good catching live today. Feels good to see you. Black Diamond, welcome. She says, since when is single motherhood a choice? Of course, there are people who choose it, but circumstances have made many women single moms also. I actually think if I were to do my estimate, most of the time it's circumstances. All right. Most of the time is circumstances. The woman inseminated herself. Okay, then that's a choice. Wahala. I was being sarcastic about the moment. Gagu, oh my god, Binta reference. It's true, we have bad mother-in-laws everywhere. Here in Germany, we'll call them squaji, interesting. I think they call them Margaret Thatcher in the UK, which means mother tiger. Thank God I have a mother-in-law. Yes, it's you have to be intentional. If you're a mother-in-law to be, you have sons, especially if you have sons, especially. Just from my own personal experience, right? Anecdotal is the word I'm looking for. From my own anecdotal experience, if you are a mother-in-law, you have to be intentional, not just intentional from an emotional intelligence standpoint. Okay, but let's listen to not this brother, but that young lady that just spoke. This brother came into her chat and she gave him wutu wutu. Listen to it.
Uncle here, this uncle that looks like he's breathing for 50 people tonight. So I put a video up last night of the Nigerian mother-in-law that was being disrespectful to our potential daughter-in-law, the African-American lady. And I done a video about it, and I don't think I was disrespectful in the video. And this uncle here that looks like he's about to swallow me with his nose,
Jesus,
decided to single mother shame me. And I was like, wait, what? Let me show you more pictures of uncle. Here is more video and pictures of uncle.
Come on, I say fine boy now.
Single mother shame me, as you guys can see on the comments. And a lot of people have been coming for him, but I was like, you know what? This is worth me recording and putting a video up.
So for those of you that can't read, this is what that can't read it. He said single mothers with audacity like this one, very funny. All right.
Who has decided to give me a chance to brag about me being a single mom, so why not? So since uncle has given me a reason to brag, let me brag. Okay, hi, my name is Abimbola. I am 40 years old. I am a single mother. Yes, I am.
Shout out to Abimbola.
I'm a single mother to 4 beautiful, amazing children. I've been doing this single mother business for long years now, and Allah Mubarak. I'm grateful to God. I'm going to brag and I'm going to drag Uncle at the same time, but I'm going to do it in a very gracious way. You know why, Uncle Frank?
Why?
Because I am fasting at the moment, so I would not bring out the crazy Abby. I'm going to bring out a gracious Abby. So I'll be graceful about it, the way I'm going to drag you right now. So yes, like I said, I'm a single mother. I've got 4 beautiful children. My first child, she's 23 years old. She's studying law at the moment. She's in her final year. She's also the ACS president of our university right now. Yes, 2024, 2025. My daughter, my 23 years old daughter is the president of the ACS group. And like I said, she's in her final year studying law at the moment. She's literally writing a dissertation right now. And she's going to see this video and go, Mom. But yeah, sorry, baby. I had to drag this uncle, okay? And I had to brag about you guys. My second child is 15 years old. He is in secondary school, and you would expect a secondary school child, a boy, to be very problematic. No, this child don't give me no problems. I've never had no problem. Very respectful. Something you would never relate to, Frank, because you are my son. You do not have the same IQ or intelligence. My son is 15 years old, but he's smarter and more intelligent than you, Frank. I can guarantee. Like, I will pay £1,000 to prove that, because he's not raised to come on social media to drag single mothers. So yeah, that alone shows how intelligent and smarter that he is.
Okay.
He's also an amateur boxer at the moment, inshallah, with the help of his coach, and Hala is going to become a professional in future. And again, he's got his head screwed on. Amazing boy, leader. Never had problems, even in his school, no problems, nothing. For a teenage son, raised by a single mother. Okay, now let me talk about the rest of my kids. I've got twins, a boy and a girl. They're gonna be 11 years old very soon. 11 years old very soon. And my son, let's start with my son, is gonna be 11 very soon. Like I said, he's a student council at a school. At the moment, they're putting together a marketing team to go on Dragon's Den. Guess who is leading that marketing team?
We know.
Almost 11 years old. Yes, a son raised by a single mother.
No, we know.
And then I've got my little daughter. Oh my God, my princess. I call her my princess. Literally my favorite little girl in the world. She's an artist. She draws. She can literally draw your future, but there's no point of her wasting her pen and paper on your future because it's not clear. There's no point. So yes, those are all my 4 beautiful children that I am raising all by myself as a single mother, and they're doing very well mentally, emotionally, and physically. And let me tell you one other thing about my children. Yeah, they're so confident. Oh yeah, I love to brag about my kids because I'm doing a damn good job at it. At this single mother shit, I'm doing a damn good job, if I may say so myself. They are very confident. They've got self-awareness. You cannot even try them. I promise you. Bring any BS to them, they will kick you to the curb. That's how I have raised them. Yeah. So yeah, I did that. Single mother, I did that. And again, I've taught my kids a lot of things in life: to be respectful, to be mindful, to love people, treat people equally.
Mario, it's easy now.
Not to. Again, by a single mother, they're doing well academically. Yes, I forgot to mention that. They're doing extremely well academically in their education. They're all doing extremely well. Allah Mubarak. Yes. So, Mr. Frank, next time you want to single mother shame someone, maybe, I don't know, pick someone else. Not me. Not me. I'm killing it at this job.
Wow.
I'm killing it.
Wow.
But you know what? If I was married, I don't think my children will be achieving all of this, because you know what? Yeah, I was in a toxic environment. So my kids will be toxic as well. So yeah.
What?
I'm a proud single mother, and I've got audacity, the biggest audacity. But you will never know that because you were not raised right. Because if you were raised right by both parents.
And by the way, she's fasting. She's in the middle of fasting.
Because I'm a single mother. Like, who actually shames people for being a single mother in 2025?
2025.
Look around you, sir. Are you new to this country?
Wait.
Like,
look around. What do you mean, look around you? What does she mean by that?
We go explain. Because no evidence.
Look around for what?
Because it's 2025, brother.
Wait, is she proving the guy's point? I mean, the guy had no point. It's terrible. The guy is terrible, by the way. Single mothers with audacity like this one, very funny. I mean, she has the right to an opinion about the mother-in-law. But the way she's responding, what does she mean by to look around? I have single mothers around me, but it's not like she described it like around her. It's like an epidemic or something like that.
A lot of single mothers are doing better.
What do I tell you guys, that when you talk, do, you go tell on yourself, wait, they're doing better than what?
Couples these days.
Than couples. She said a lot of them. She's not saying all of them. She said a lot of them. So let me give her a pass on that.
Brag of at least 10 single mothers.
10! Jesus Christ. Hey!
He shock you.
All right.
Life.
Single motherhood is not something to shame people about. It's not. Absolutely not. That would be crazy for you to hear me come here and shame single mother. But there are people that will listen to what I'm saying right now and will basically interpret it as shaming single mother. It is what it is. I understand. It's a sensitive topic. She's still talking.
I look up to that they are doing amazing.
Single mother that she looks up to that are doing amazing. Is it wrong for her to look up to single mothers? No. But she's making it about, she's looking up to them because of the single motherhood. There are many array of thousands of reasons why you might look up to a single mother. I would hope it's not because of the single motherhood. Maybe because of how they handle single motherhood with grace, but not particularly about the single motherhood. I don't know. Is that the same thing? I don't know, man. There's just something about the way she's saying it. I don't know.
Amazingly well. They just don't post themselves on social media. 10. Some of them are older than me. Some of them are younger than me.
They just don't post themselves on social media. So are people that are also married and they're doing an amazing good job. So two to get two. So I don't know. It's not a competition, I guess, right?
Some of them are within my age range. They're doing amazingly well. So
what's her age range? She said she was 40, right? Yeah.
And you want to single mother shame people, Mr. Frank? Please do it in a smart way. At least go and face people that are probably not doing well. No, come on, sir. Yeah? Anyways.
I bet you that Mr. Frank don't know her personally. I'll bet you that Mr. Frank don't know her personally, but yet she felt the need to do this.
Explain, because no evidence.
Ogao. All right, so Marriott, you got it. Insecurity is a bastard. Insecurity will present itself in all kind of weird ways. If insecurity presented itself as right or wrong, everybody will be getting it right. But this is what insecurity present themselves as. It present themselves as an urge to shalaye. You go shalaye. It doesn't matter what side of this formula or this argument you fall in. You go shalaye.
You go explain, because no evidence.
You go explain. No evidence, especially when Mr. Frank don't really know Abimbola personally. I guarantee you, I'll bet that £10,000 on it that they don't know each other personally. But she came on the internet to do this level of shalaye. Ladies and gentlemen, wherever you find yourself in life, the biggest problem in all of them is the shalaye, the urge to shalaye. It's a sign of other deeper issues. Okay, it's a sign of other deeper issues. You're looking for validation on the internet. It ain't gonna happen. The best you can get is sympathy. The best you can get is sympathy from people that can probably relate with you. Maybe they also feel like a victim the same way you feel. And you know, but let me look at this comment. I'm sure the people that follow her are people that love her. Shout out to her. HRH is Royal Highness, I guess, Abimbola. Breathing for 50 people. That was funny. He thinks he knows everything. Jesus Christ. Not that knows everything. It's silly. Nigerian men are misogyny. Okay, all right. Single mother here. My 20-year-old is a junior at Harvard. 18-year-old at pre-med dean's list. Freshman at Temple. We're killing it and we're proud. By the way, this is worth celebrating. All of this and all the accolades she mentioned is worth celebrating. I just think you did it. You're doing a disservice when you put it in the same breath as your single motherhood. You know, parenting. What about your parenting skills? Can we highlight that? Because even couples that are married might be able to learn parenting from you, right? But it's kind of weird to ask them to learn single motherhood from you. Yeah, it could make sense, but they can learn parenting from you. So what is wrong with single motherhood? You tell me, because I didn't say anything is wrong with it. Since people don't decide it for themselves, and circumstances can put people in that position. But parenting is something that everybody, either you're single parent or dual parenting, everybody wants to get it right. What about if you highlight that part, and maybe you can teach one or two people how you did it, that your kids are dean's list, all this kind of stuff. But what's the other reason why you might need to highlight single motherhood? I know, so we can feel sorry. Yeah, there's more than enough people that will feel sorry, but what I'm saying is that whatever you're looking for, from that depth that you're looking for, you're not going to get. You're going to get sympathy from people who can relate with you from that place of victimhood. I don't know, man. I'm trying to be careful. Yeah, you notice I'm picking my words, but I still probably did a terrible job. I'm just trying to tell you, parenting is probably what we can learn. All of us can learn from you, you know. And shout out to you. Either you're a single mother or you're dual parenting and you've managed to have a 20-year-old as a junior at Harvard. That is a big deal. That is a super big deal. Or maybe, okay, I get it. Maybe we can give you extra credit that the job of two people, you're able to do it as one person. Maybe, okay? I'm just trying to say here, let's just rub minds together. There's something off in this situation. I think it's the shalaye. Why do you feel the need to explain yourself to weirdos on the internet? I think that's what it is that's rubbing me off the wrong way. You know, well, it's my shalaye. Is it your shalaye? I know you're right. I don't know. What's my business? I'm just saying. Anyway, how people try to shame the parents that actually stayed to raise the kids is beyond me. That is an assumption that she actually stayed to raise the kids and the other person ran away. Again, remember, people become single parents from multiple different types of circumstances, right? It doesn't always mean a man ran away. It could mean that, but this is an assumption. And one of the craziest elements of destruction in relationships is assumptions. Okay. Someone said Uncle can smell people's dream. They are dragging him. He deserves this dragging, by the way. He's so freaking nosy. I can testify he's breathing for me. Some Nigerians are so backward and antagonistic. You know, my own thing to you ladies, wherever you find yourself in this equation, just make sure you guard yourself, okay? When it comes to this internet is not, it's not really your mate at the end of the day. If you do shalaye, somebody's still going to drag you, okay? Regardless, even when you are right. So she tackled the mother-in-law, and then a guy came for her about her single motherhood, and then she still felt the need to shalaye to one guy in the chat. It's okay, we go yield. But ladies and gentlemen, please control your urge to shalaye to strangers. It's not worth it, okay? Then also the other thing I want to make sure I mention here, if there's any dangers to single parenthood, okay, it has a lot to do with your kids' soft skill. We're not your kids, like we have too many smart people, intelligent people. Never mind the kids, never mind your own children now, okay? Just people in general. Too many smart, intelligent people that struggle with personal relationships, that struggle with soft skills, that basically will attain big positions, but they don't last because nobody likes them. And to be fair to her, she did not describe her kids as that. She said her kids are mental, emotional. Good. Congratulations, right? But even you said your kid will say to you like, Mom, why are you on the internet doing that? How many times have your kids corrected you in this new era? Be honest. Even in the way we conduct ourselves, maybe we should be learning from the kids. That's more of what it's about. Your parenting skills, like nobody's going to take that away. If you by way of circumstances, you find yourself being a single mother, any weirdo who shames you for that is just a weirdo. It's exactly what I just called it, right? But I understand that they can tap out with the wrong nerves on your body, in your system, and then you feel the need to come and do shalaye. It's not necessary. If you feel the need to do that, that speaks more so to your insecurity, and you need to address that because it's probably showing up in other ways of your life. Maybe not in this particular type of scenario, but it shows up in other ways. I want you to understand that you have everything in you as an individual, single, married, single motherhood, divorced. You have everything in you to win. You have the rest of your life ahead of you. If you don't believe that, then there's a chance, I could be wrong, there's a chance you'll be responding to weirdos on the internet. And how sad. How sad. It's not about the weirdo, it's about you. Remember, you're responsible for your reactions. These are actions you are responsible for. And oftentimes the danger of this type of actions is subtle, it's subconscious, it's not the obvious stuff. It's not the obvious stuff like my child is in Harvard. Congratulations on that, okay? And that's worth celebrating. I just wish you would celebrate that outside of this argument on the internet. It's not worth it. Isabel says, dragging in a very gracious way, Jesus. She puts Lent join. Oh my. Lent, not Lento. This is fasting as a Muslim. She's a Muslim. They call it something else. Pick someone else. You should tell the man to stop. Let's continue. I have some other stuff, some other trendy stories around the world. If you have any point of contention about this right here, we would like to address it as we go. And I'm also open to learning. This might have been a very insensitive thing, but just drink water, take a shower, cold shower. We will all be fine. Okay. Yeah. We'll be right back.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
The mic. Mr. Thomas. Mr. Thomas. The mic.
All right, let's get back to it. Let's talk about this. Oh my God.
Mr. Thomas. Mr. Thomas. We do that. I don't do one talking herself. That is not to respect yourself. Talk up and take him out. Smell him out. Swell him out.
Jesus.
Look like a dog. Look at you. Big fool at 70.
Full at 70.
I take exception
What do you mean?
A senator.
Why are you talking to me like that?
You are a disgrace to the Senate.
You are an insult to womanhood.
You are
an insult to womanhood. And you are here to tell the world that you have not changed.
You cannot
You are
violate
here to tell the world that you have not changed.
You
At
are
70, you have not changed.
a
And
scoundrel.
there's nothing to take it. I will not take it.
A scoundrel.
I will not take it.
To insult.
That is why you can never be here. People like you can never be here. People like you can never be here. How can you be? How can you be a fool?
Not a hooligan.
You are a hooligan. Mr. Chairman.
When was the last time I heard the word hooligan? That's a Nigerian English word.
Chairman of the committee. Chairman of the
I will say I should keep my mouth shut. Who are you to say so?
Chairman.
Who are you to say so?
Chairman
Who are you?
Okay, officer.
I will refuse.
Chairman of the committee.
Mr. Chairman, sir. Mr. Chairman, sir. Mr. Chairman,
Chairman of the committee.
Mr. Chairman.
Chairman of the committee.
Mr. Chairman.
Chairman of the committee. Chairman of the committee.
Until when we read that rule of this house and that constitution, that's when we can say that we have fair hearing and justice in this regard. In this regard, what the petitioner had said is that based on that press briefing, whether it was before Natasha was sent out of the National Assembly or not, gives an impression that the chairman of the committee has a particular understanding of this issue and could be said to be biased, on that issue, with due respect, sir. And that is what my client is raising. Now, my client had raised one more point, that in the petition that he had put before you, sir, that the petition had said is going to bring the principal witness, Senator Natasha, as one of the witnesses to speak on this issue. And we are aware that the Senate had made a decision on where she can come and where she cannot come. And so that is why we are saying we are ready to proceed. An oath has been taken. We have our witnesses ready. And the principal witness is Senator Natasha. So we don't also want people to go ahead and think that we deliberately came here, we have been called on serious. We have been called serious, some names here, that we deliberately came here to come and stalemate here. No, that is not our intention. Our intention is that if we are going to proceed, we think the chair of the committee should please step down from this conversation to allow for fairness and justice in accordance with the constitution of this country, because we can give evidence. Premium Times, March 5th, Arise, it was also recorded. We have several documentary evidence to show that at the point in time, the chair had said, dead or an arrival, she has no case to answer, and other things, sir. Thank you very much.
Counsel, thank you very much.
But let me tell you, and I use the word dead on arrival. That case that came before us, the first petition that came, is not this petition. That petition was signed by distinguished Senator Natasha Akpoti. Contrary to our rules, you cannot sign your own petition. 2, a petition that came before us did not even have an address. Contrary to our rules, that petition shouldn't have been entertained. Because you're a learned counsel, submit a case, submit your own petition to court, and don't.
All right. Enough. Wow. All right. So let's first of all, who is Natasha? They're talking about Natasha, by the way. This is the case of Natasha Akpoti versus Akpabio. Natasha is a suspended senator in Nigeria. Young lady senator in Nigeria. She's been suspended. She's been suspended for 6 months. She's serving a 6-month suspension by the Senate President of Nigeria, Senate President Akpabio, and of course the whole Senate. They suspended her. This is the young lady we're talking about. So we'll be talking about her for a few weeks now. A reason why I have made her the face of this live stream today is because also one of the methods they've tried to employ is to shame her status as a woman, as a mother, as a wife. Imagine, this is why I told you, ladies and gentlemen, if you're a single mother, no condition is permanent. Never ever feel the need to explain yourself to weirdos. There's no need for it. Okay. And usually people will feel the need to shame or drag you for that very status. They have nothing to offer. It's not as sometimes they present as, oh, they're just going to help you become better for a better society. It's a lie. Okay, they are getting their own emotional need filled by dragging you, and there's no need for that. Okay, there's no need for you to feed into it. You're fueling the fire. Okay, temporarily sometimes they might tell you, oh, for our society, blah blah blah. What I know for a fact is that the reason why there might be some people getting influenced thinking single motherhood is to be celebrated. No, there's no single mother that I know around me that's celebrating that. It's just a circumstance that we find ourselves sometimes. Okay, so with that being said, you're going to find yourself, no matter how high you go in life, somebody is going to attempt to try to use that to shame you, even after you have married and you've done it right. And they attempted that with Natasha, because she's been married a couple of times, I guess, but she has children from 3 different fathers. And the young man that you saw earlier on, who was now dragging Dr. Obi Ezekwesili, as you can see, the behavior is consistent. The behavior is what? The behavior is consistent. What you need to be looking out for, you need to be patient enough to see this. You need to look out for patterns. Need to look out for patterns from people who conduct themselves in this manner. Look at it. Look at it.
Look at you. Fool at 70.
She called, I said she. He called her a fool at 70. I think she's only 61 according to Google. But I said she again. He called her a fool at 70. I'm not listening to what he's saying. It doesn't matter if she's actually 61 or 70. What I'm looking at is the conduct of this grown adolescent. That's what I'm looking at. Okay. So imagine you responding to this person. She had the right to respond the way she's responding right there on the spot. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about to a complete stranger. This man is supposed to be one of the senators in Nigeria. His name is what's his name again? Oh, Nwebonyi, right? So as you can see, he's carried on his head to defend Senate President Akpabio to any level, right? You can just look at him, right? There's only one person that remained calm, even though she's not backing down, which I applaud her for not backing down. You should not, if somebody's in your face like that, you should talk back at them. Absolutely, of course, absolutely. Okay, but you must do everything in your power to remain cool, calm, and collected. My expectation is that the man is able to do that more so than a woman. So you can imagine how disappointed I am. Not surprised necessarily, but disappointed nonetheless. Imagine the people leading us, no self-control, no emotional intelligence. Exactly. All right. So now Natasha has been, she's been dragged. Why is she being dragged? Well, some weeks ago, as a senator, she was asked to change seat very abruptly on the Senate floor. What's the big deal in changing seats? It's a big deal. It has everything to do with where they sit and how they can be heard, because they're there to represent their constituency, and there's certain privileges that comes with certain types of seating. But more importantly, they have to be notified if their seats were changed, and allegedly she was not notified. That's what she's claiming. And really, all the normal people in my assessment are asking for, in this case, is that, okay, can you at least have an hearing, hear our side of the story? But what happened? The Senate decided to move a motion. Within 24 hours, they got her suspended for 6 months, when there's actual, I think either in their book of rules or constitution, they're not allowed to suspend any senator for more than 14 days. Why? Because they're representing the interest of our people. So you cannot silence those people by silencing one person. But that's effectively what they've managed to do, and they did it, and they thought they could get away with it, but basically it was the wrong move. It has been the wrong move, and that's what we're finding out. Well, we're not finding out. We already said this from day one, right? And so as she was addressing that on national TV, on Arise News TV, she decided to just come out and just say it out loud. She was already saying it on the Senate floor when she said to Senate President that she's not afraid of him, that ever since a nightclub incident, that he had been acting up and acting out and basically misbehaving. So that case has been dragging. If you don't know the full story, go watch it from the beginning. But today we just want to review what we are seeing as some of the updates on what we're looking at here. All right. Mario says the clown doesn't respect women at all. He is representing Nigeria, but he's also someone's husband and dad. What kind of offspring can he create? Can you imagine? D-Cram, Mr. Dayo, how are you, sir? He said, I think this was pre-planned by Senator Nwebonyi, because even when Obi was trying to be silent, he kept going on and on. Yes. So, and then he's come on TV to say they told him to shut up. So we go by patterns here on Prestige Family. We go by patterns. Human beings have patterns. There's no one single behavior. I will not judge you by one single behavior from you ever. I promise you. You have to be consistent. At least you have to show me 2 or 3 times. Then I can, okay, this person is probably consistently doing this, right? So if Dr. Obi Ezekwesili, right? Who is she, by the way? She's a former minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. She's well respected. If you think Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, right? Think presidency level. She ran for president at one point. No chance, of course. That's Nigeria. We still don't have a woman president in the United States of America, by the way. It doesn't mean other countries don't have that. But anyway, Dr. Obi Ezekwesili is actually 61 years of age, and she's decided to back Natasha all the way. And she's known for as an expert in economy policy. So she's a very intelligent lady. Like I said, that's not all it is. We've seen her behavior. We know that she will not just randomly look at a man. Yes, I'm saying with my full chest. Why did you wait for the facts and look at the other story, other side of the story, other side of the story, your papa? I'm not waiting for other side of the story. I will put Abimbola's $10,000 back, £10,000 behind it, that she did not just say, will you shut up to you? It's because you're probably going on and on and on and on, and you won't just shut the fuck up. That's probably why she got caught up in her emotions for a second. I said, will you shut the fuck up? Shut up. Right? Again, I'm not saying I know the fact. I'm saying what I'm willing to bet on. English comprehension. Anyway, problems. Yeah, former minister of economy. It's not educational, something like that. Let me see. Maybe she was education. Oh, she was education, but she was also between 2006 and 7. She was education, and then she was also before that Minister of Solid Minerals of Nigeria. So this is a well-respected woman. Again, I'm not just saying that. I'm going by her consistent behavior over time, and this man's consistent behavior over at least 2 or 3 different occasions so far. You know, I thought people said when people get old, they are treated like men in some cultures in Nigeria. They do? I don't know. I never heard that before. What is the solution to this? This type of behavior is disgusting. All you can do with this type of behavior is focus on your focus, how you respond to it. Crisis will come in the form of how other people decide to conduct themselves. All you can control is how you respond to it. You can respond to aid it, to abet it, to encourage more of it, or you can respond to discourage more of it. You are in control of that, right? But you also need to understand that that could be a process. It might not be you snap your finger and the person stops the behavior, but you can remove yourself. You can tell the person to their face that you're not talking to me. Like I really appreciate how she's responding to him. If this was on the internet, do not respond. If this was on the internet, do not respond. If you're going to respond, it has to be some form of statement. The higher you are in terms of class of people in society, the more it has to be a statement that is not necessarily written directly by you. Sometimes the only time you need to make a statement is if your reputation is on the line or something like that. Maybe some form of allegation. But if it's just somebody's stupid opinion, there's usually never a need to respond. If they're in your face, they're being disrespectful, you tell them to keep the shut F up. It's okay to say that sometimes, okay? It's perfectly okay to say that. If you have to keep saying, if you have to repeat that multiple times, that form of communication is not working. Then remove yourself, of course, because you don't want to put yourself in harm's way. Some people will say, but why would you encourage a woman to talk to a man like that? What man? This disrespectful one? He has tried. When was the last time you saw Dr. Obi talk to someone like this? Come on. Like, which man are you talking? This masculine man? Anyway, no, this is not, in my opinion, I'm sorry. I don't want to question his manhood, but that's not how a man is supposed to behave. All right. So here we go again. If you look at that, she did tell him to keep shut. But the camera really couldn't see where he was running his mouth. That's why. You can see she did a hand like this. Like, look at this one.
go do one insulting herself. Respect yourself. Shut up and
That's why he said, that's how to respect yourself. He kept yelling at her. They said, and then she goes, will you shut up? In fact, she deserved, I was about to clap with my hands, but she deserved a round of applause for that. Will you shut up? Listen, I don't care about what they were talking about. It doesn't matter. Respect is earned. Okay? I'm not talking about your cultural definition of respect. I'm talking about the actual definition of respect. It's earned 100% of the time. It doesn't matter what part of the world you go to. If you're talking about actual respect, it's earned. It doesn't mean that people will not attempt to disrespect you sometimes. That's not what it means. Disrespectful people are everywhere. It has everything to do with how you respond to circumstances around you, whether, you know, rain, sunshine, things are happening. The way you respond to them is your own personal behavior. And if you don't know how to move, you will attract more and more disrespect. There's more than enough disrespectful people around you to give you disrespect. And sometimes what you might call disrespect is a person just holding their ground and say, hey, you're a mad person. Somebody should lock you up right now. Okay. So let me see here. Mr. Dayo says, at the end of the day, the purpose of the meeting was not achieved. Waste of time and money again. Hey, it's a process, due process. They're going through it right now. Natasha is dragging them. Allow the due process. Okay. In the grand scheme of things, they are showing their ass. Let them do it. Allow them. They have to tell on themselves. Okay. It's okay. Honestly, MOP, the man was very unruly and disrespectful. Obi is far older than him, and as a Nigerian, he's supposed to show her some respect. I can almost guarantee you that this guy is probably not that much younger than Obi. What's his name again? Let me see. This guy could easily be 61 because Obi is 61 on records. What's his name? Is Onye Kachi. Let me see if I can find his age. People like them always have a tendency to hide their age because they're not proud of it. Okay, he has no records anywhere. His name is going to come up. Look, okay, let me see here. No records of age anywhere. He's from Nwebonyi State. He's representing Nwebonyi. Now, speaking of recalling people, this is the kind of guy that just be recalling back. Because if you're from Nwebonyi State, this is the person representing you at a federal level. Imagine, what is he fighting for? Right? Let me see if I can find something else. Let's see. It said he was born in 1982. God forbid bad thing. I'm done. All right. In 1982 is what? 43 years of age. All right. So definitely much older, but it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. I guarantee you. He's a man. He's supposed to be a grown man. He's supposed to conduct himself like a grown man. He attracted if he wants to call it disrespect, but I don't think so. She was standing her ground. Anyway, somebody said Dr. Ezekwesili is a woman of integrity and dignity. The Mumu man they beat him wife for hours. Wahala. How can a full-grown man talk to a woman like that in public? Shows how you talk to your wife. In as much as I don't like the behavior of the senator, he was asked minutes ago on Channels TV why he fled up in that manner, and he said Obi Ezekwesili shouted down at him first and asked him to shut up and sit down. This is Chukzi Chudi. This is one of those people that like to listen to the other side of the story before they can have a good judgment of character. That's problems. You should listen to the other side of the story just for the sake of not making an assumption. If you were put in a position of judgment, yes, you should hear, right? But if we're asking you for your weirdo opinion on the internet, like, no, you don't need the other side of the story. You can see patterns here. What else do you expect him to say? What are your expectations in terms of his explanation of his conduct? Do you expect anything less or more from him than to say he was right? To be shouted down on himself in public as a grown man like that? What else do you expect? So I'm asking you now, what is your expectation, you as a grown man, right? What do you expect of your fellow men in how to conduct themselves? Even if they find themselves in a position, a compromising position, where they might have to restrain a woman sometimes. What are your expectations? Because now you're doing, let's take two sides of the story. So she told you to shut up or keep your mouth shut and sit down. And you as a grown man, the best way you can respond is what we just watched. Is that what you're telling me? Anyway, let's continue. Ola, you are silencing men again. You want them to talk, right? No, I don't want them to shut the hell up and use more of their power than their mouth. That's what I want them to do. Learn that their power is not in their mouth. It will never be in their mouth. Never, ever. It will never be in your mouth. Your power is here, gentlemen. It's not in your mouth. It will never be in your mouth. And I will not encourage you talking anyhow and running yourself down in public in the name of we want to keep you silent. If you want to talk to your brothers. Go to a barber shop and express yourself. A barber shop is not on the internet. Talk to your fellow men. Address issues with them. Ask them what they think first before you jump on the internet and talk anyhow. And be disrespecting the rest of us men in the name of you want to talk. You want to compete with women. Or dare. So this person ended up saying, I am Team Natasha, but won't also support Obi insulting a senator. That's stupid. Could make sense. It doesn't add up. He said respect is reciprocal. Reciprocal means it starts from one side. It is earned. Reciprocal means it started first and then it's reciprocated. It doesn't mean simultaneous. Mutual respect is the key. See? I knew it. Mutual respect is the key. That's the stupidest thing anybody could ever say. Don't say that to yourself again. Respect is earned. It's how you move. You attract more disrespect. If a person is outrightly disrespectful, hold your ground, but remove yourself, because it's not you that will tell them to be respectful suddenly. If they came from their house mannerless, send them back to their house mannerless. If you stay with them mannerless, you deserve every disrespect that comes to you, because clearly you have no self-respect. Somebody said, you see what Natasha had been going through? Good. I told you, Mr. Dayo. I should call you Dr. Dayo. Dr. Dayo was almost coming to me. I had an uncle that was Dr. Dayo. You see what I'm saying? This is due process. They didn't waste time. I see where you were coming from, but this is not waste of time. We need them to show their ass like this in public. Because some of us can see it 3-4 weeks ahead of time. Some people are slow. They need to play analyst first before they can see it. Also, okay, we're patient. It's a process. It's a process.
And that's the question.
This is him explaining himself. Let's see what kind of explanation he's going to give. Before I do that, let me come to the chat. Black Diamond says he wasn't disrespected. He got the response he deserved for acting out in public like a spoiled toddler. These are the people representing us. I cry for my nation. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Here, let's ping others into the room. Okay.
Hey, we appeared before the Senate committee.
No, let me do this. I want to cut this up, and I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, listen to this.
Today, we appeared before the Senate Committee on Public Petition. Senator Natasha was invited with her witnesses to come and prove allegation of sexual harassment against the Senate President. I was also invited as a witness to the Senate President to also rebut her falsehood, the false claim of hers. So it started when she was asked to be on oath, because she said she was a witness. He said, no, she can't be on oath. She can't take oath. So, as a person, I said, okay, I'm willing to be sworn on oath so that I can give my own evidence. I was addressing the presiding officer, the chairman of the committee, and she turned to me and said, will you shut up your mouth? A sitting senator?
So he's also a liar. As you can see, he's also a liar. All right. For some reason, they always forget that if there's no professional channels, new TV camera watching, there's at least somebody's phone watching. I think they haven't really woken up to that reality. So they shock him every time. Like he left that event and he went straight to Channels TV to come and tell us lies. By the way, probably majority of Nigerians don't have access to see Channel TV in real time. So maybe they're actually still right to an extent here, right? But as you can see, there's a growing number of people that will see this and they will see the real truth, even if they need to hear both sides of the story, and they will make up their mind and say, oh no, you're a liar, right? So as you can see, he's also a liar.
In the Senate, that I should shut up my mouth.
That's what aggravated you.
Yes. And I said, no, ma. Withdraw that statement. He said, will you shut up your mouth? You're a hooligan. I said, you are the hooligan. For a mother like you, a grandmother of your age, a former minister of the Federal Republic, to tell a sitting senator to shut up his mouth and to add that I'm a hooligan, then you are the hooligan. In fact, I went for her to describe her as in fact, let me not use that word again.
No, I mean,
but I respect her as a mother.
Yeah, but
she went off the.
But do you regret the scenario which played out?
How can I regret this?
Shout out to Sean. Let me clap for Sean Okinbaloye on Channels TV. That's a fantastic question. Fantastic. Do you, Sean, it's like, let's bypass this tit for tat nonsense. She did it first nonsense. If even I don't expect women to do that. I don't expect women to do tit for tat anymore, especially not if you're a prestige family. Don't come to me with like they made you do it. You're a responsible adult and you're responsible for your actions and your reactions. Much less a whole man. She did it first. Is that what you're trying to tell me? She did it first. She was like, no, never mind that. Do you regret your actions?
I gave it to her.
I gave it to her.
Is this fair for her to address me that way?
I mean, you could be.
She'll say, is that fair? Baba, a grown-ass adolescent, overgrown adolescent said, is it fair for her to do it, to show me that way?
Offended, but as a man.
No, I get it. Logic told you that he has the right to ask. Well, logic and common sense are terrible guide to life. I tell you that all the time. Okay? It's not that simple. There is a social construct here. You're freaking grown. I don't care if you're 41 and she's 61. Maybe you're 20 years behind her. By the way, you look like 71. Why did you behave? Why did you conduct yourself in that manner? Is what Sheon is getting at. And Sheon is like, I'm going to stay calm because you're not going to aggravate me. Okay? Let me ask you a straight up question. Are you proud? Is that fair? Because Sheon was giving him, like, is that fair? Or he ate it up like Indomie. He like, it's fair. Is it fair that she acted that way? He missed the point.
And as a senator, I mean, if you are offended, would you go in the
as a former minister of the Federal Republic, a grandmother? Ask her.
As a Federal Republic, let me not go the grandmother route yet. When somebody say as a federal former minister of the Republic, number one, that's shaming tactic. Okay, that's shaming tactic. They're not addressing the issue. They're trying to use emotions. They're trying to make you the mumu. They're giving you the emotions so you can tag on to it, right? The issue is that's not the question. Is that fair what you did? Okay, she was saying, is that even fair to yourself? You're a freaking grown man. Is that fair that you did that to yourself? That video will never be erased from the internet in your life for the rest of your life and your kids. You conducted yourself in that manner and you were yelling at a woman in that matter. It's not equal. I keep telling you that. So it's not an equal playing field ever. You yell at a woman in that manner, you will get judged. It's the reality you find yourself. It's the reality you cooked for yourself. It's the reality of life. The society you cooked for yourself as a man because you made this, right? Is that fair? when we say fairness in that respect, it's not a tit for tat. So who is right? Let's be fair. Let's be honest with ourselves. No, you are lying. It is not honest. It's not an equal playing ground field. You find yourself in that situation where you could have elevated yourself. Let's say she told you, shut up. Right? And the whole world saw it. And you didn't respond to that in that manner. And you say, excuse me, ma'am, why did you say, did you tell me to shut up? No, seriously, did you tell me, did everybody see that? Did she tell me to shut up? Everybody can pick it up from there. But you know what we already know? We already know that Dr. Obi is probably not going to tell you to shut up first, if not that you were running your mouth. Am I being harsh on you? Yes. Welcome to the real world. That's the world you found yourself, the world you cooked for yourself as a man. Is that your fault? No, it's the way it's supposed to be. You're still responsible for how you respond to crisis. But guess what? You were the crisis. You were actually the crisis in the equation before it blew out of proportion. Let's continue going.
First, and I'm saying that it is human to err, and without hearing
if she erred, it is a male
without acceding that to whatever allegations or whatever you said and Dr. Obi Ezekwesili said, because we've not heard from her side. But I'm saying that
you know, we have not heard from her side. Okay, all right, that's what you wanted, didn't it? We've not heard from her side. Yes, but what? So
even if she offended you. You have come of age too. You're
a freaking grown man. 2. It's not even 2. Remove the 2. You're a grown ass man.
I merely replied her.
I replied her. See, he's following her. You see that I don't like questioning a grown man's manhood. Let's just correct the issue. He's the one following her. It's no wonder. I replied her. So you just to follow her. You have no core. You have no masculine core of your own. You must respond to every crisis around you with crisis.
But you were emotional.
How can I be emotional? She was also emotional. Emotion jams emotion.
She said she was just emotional. Emotional jam emotion. These are your leaders. These are the people you voted to come and represent you at the federal level. Oh no, but let's not be emotional. It's all emotional. Don't let me call you names again. It is all emotional. Saying something is emotional is like telling us the obvious. You're not saying anything profound. You just like to hear yourself. That's it. It's all emotional. So if somebody reacted emotional, how do you conduct yourself? Do you engage with more emotions? Right? Is that what you do? Is that the solution? Either we're talking family level or federal level, it's the same issues. But again, look at the people who are voting into office.
But do you regret that kind of thing happening between both of you? This is happening on national television.
It's unfortunate that...
Who was pointing finger just now in somebody's face? That's something that, even if a woman do it, you said, put your hands down, don't point. How much more a grown man? You have your finger in people's face, in all of our faces like that. With camera, millions of people watching. And what we want to talk about, listen to the other side of the story. Are you kidding me? Are you okay?
A mother, a grandmother, a person of her standard.
So of course, a federal farmer, a grandmother is using pure emotionalism, but they are the first to say, oh, somebody is emotional. I don't care if somebody is using emotion or not. It's all emotional. It's my point. To get to how you respond. She was folding her arm. Why is she folding her arm like that? She's probably trained. She's like, this one, thank God there are people around me. There are at least 2 people between us. She's folding her arm. She's the one acting more like a man in the equation. It's sad to watch. It's a sad thing to watch.
Can be so moved by emotion to call a sitting senator a hooligan, and I should shut up my mouth. When I was asking for clarification from a presiding officer, I was not addressing her. I was talking to the Senate Chairman Committee on Ethics. So I don't have no business with her.
If she apologizes to you, would you also?
Of course I will. I'm a Christian.
So again, it will follow again. If she apologizes first, of course I will. I'm a Christian.
This is a Lenten period. But you cannot
not the Lent. He just brought Lent into it. Oh my God.
Me. You cannot abuse me, and you ask me to keep quiet.
Why is this Senator Natasha Akpoti do? And that's the question.
They're talking about Natasha Akpoti. Remember, we're still on the Natasha Akpoti issue. Let me see some of those comments. All right, so this is another grown man. I'm not going to say his name. He says, society, the moment a man refuses to be ridiculed by a woman, then he's a bad man. Who is talking about bad here? But the moment a woman refuses to be ridiculed, she's applauded. Society strives so hard to shut men up, but I would like to see men use their voices more. So, Shebo, he wants men to use their voices more. These are part of the people emasculating men, by the way. Any man who is asking men to use their voices more in this kind of context, of course, men should use their voice, but it's not just about talking. You have to make sure that your words are actually heard, that it doesn't get lost in the source of this kind of what we just saw played out. It's part of your job as a man to make sure that you're not just talking, that you can actually be heard, not just heard, that you can actually be constructive, that you can actually build, that you can actually create a solution, create something for the rest of the world to benefit from. But it looks like everybody just wants to be heard. Oh my show, you are the victim. You just want to be heard. He says, speak up, men and women alike. So that men and women alike, he's lying. He actually meant men. It's a gender warrior. Let me just tell you, gender warriors will present themselves, they tell on themselves, but they might try to, they're not wise enough to realize we can tell, even when they say men and women. We can tell you're a gender warrior, by the way. Somebody said she was right. He needed to shut up. So if you don't watch the video before this interview, you will believe this dude. It's a lie. It's a liar. It's a clown. Shout out to this man. This is a man here, okay? I like it when I see men that can actually use their sense. What does that mean? Does that mean always agree with you? Yes. Okay, if that makes you feel better. Somebody says, shame on you. If not for the lawlessness of our country, Nigeria, they should have banned you from the Senate nonsense. Is it so? Now they are banning, they suspended Natasha Akpoti for misconduct. Would this not pass for misconduct? No, of course we know the issue is much bigger than that. Of course we know. A whole sitting senator, please continue sitting, sir. Babysitter. Voila. And where is decorum, Uncle Senator? A sitting senator, bogi there, basket mouth. Like, it's even obvious, even the way he was talking over Sean just now. If you think this man is a respectful man, you have something else coming for you. If he was a man, he would talk over you. Exactly. This is his behavior. He's just a disrespectful person. It's not about Dr. Obi or Natasha. This is just a disrespectful person. This is a person you should never have afforded or allowed near anything, an office anywhere. Not even a student union president. Ever. But some of you like cho men to lead you because somehow you think those are the people that can speak to power. You don't realize that that's not how power works. This Tinubu regime is just full of anyhowness. Or more, they're telling on themselves, oh, I'm liking it. Normally, this man should be harvesting yam in the village. Don't disrespect farmers like that. So I say, Mumu man, Odogu, sorry, Odiegu, with anger issues. In your Akpabios, Bobo, we see you. See, nobody believes. There's nobody with sense that believes this guy. Of course, oh God. This is not looking good. I'm not liking what I'm seeing from some men here. Somebody said, for every action, reaction follow, but as man. Okay, all right. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Oladeji. He said, as man, and also a distinguished senator, you should be able to manage the situation. Thank you. Dr. Obi is not ordinary woman, but a well-respected one. That's a man talking. Shout out to my brothers. I appreciate you because I know you guys are out there. You're just not loud like these weirdos on this internet. Anyway, let me come to the chat before I continue. Oh, Lord. Oh, more. Oh, God. His narrative is wrong by Mr. Dayo. He said, no, ma, you did lie. He just said it all. We didn't even need to see the whole video before we knew this guy was lying through his teeth. We didn't need to see it, but thank God he's confirming it. Did we just watch the same video? This guy, the lie, Black Diamond, good to see you, by the way. Did they play the video back to him? Housewives reunion style. This man disgusts me. Wallah. He's trying to say he's superior by position to Obi, hence Obi has no right to address him like that. He's a bigot. Emotions jam emotion. To get to, I know. He thinks Seto is petty. The woman is just gracious. Just fold her hands. Like, shut the fuck up. I would tell you too. If it was me, I was like, shut the fuck up. And then I would fold my hand. You know how you throw stone at somebody and you like hand your hand back? That's me. I would just hang my hands behind me like I didn't do anything. I'll let you show your ass in public. That's me. That's how petty I get with this. No, you thought I was patient. No, I am patient. But I understand this is a power game, and some people you can't do that split line game with them. You have to like choke them like this, but don't let them see your hand. Okay, I take that back. Sorry. I take that back. Can't imagine how this man is with his wife at home. I don't know. But he's consistent, I'll tell you that much. He's the same one who said Natasha was shaming Natasha with single motherhood, that she has 6 children with 6. He's the one that they have lawsuit against in court, that she filed a lawsuit against in court for saying she comes naked to the Senate floor. That's the guy, the same guy. She comes naked to the Senate floor, and a person a person who is a mother of 6 from 6 different fathers. That was him. Same guy. Isn't that consistent? It's a consistent behavior, right? That's the point I'm making. When they show you who they are, believe them. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Anger is not an emotion to them. It's only crying. I'd like them to use their hands to develop their country. I'm a man, but your women and children are the number 2 poverty capital of the world. Walking embarrassment. We snip them out immediately. You should know them by the behavior. Trust me. Sitting senator, bogey there. Sitting senator, kill you there. That's what that means. I should have picked that up, right? Bogey there. Mr. Dayo, you said Madam Natasha's suspension was separate. Is this not unruly behavior needing the suspension? This definitely needs suspension. Definitely. You cannot behave like that representing the whole Nwebonyi state. And no, it should be this guy should be suspended for the next 6 years. If he's the one behind suspension of Natasha for 6 months, you know. This kind of man will be screaming Ashawo in a fight with women. Those are the kind of people. I really don't want to drag my guy VDM to it because I feel like VDM is evolving. Let's just call it the old VDM. I see him using allegedly more and more. So I want to give him a lot of grace. I want to give him a lot of grace for him to become some of the greatest men that Nigeria has offered. I'm trying my best. I'm trying to be a good guy to VDM. But let's just say old version of VDM, right? That's the kind of people who like to put in office. People that use their mouth as their power. That's not power. It is not power. If anything, you're a nuisance. And you're giving up yourself. You're ammunitions. It's only the time that, like, you know how they... Sorry I'm popping your ears. I'm sorry. You know how they kill mosquito with? That's how they kill Cho man. Because you're obvious. We can tell when you're coming. You have no power, literally. If all you have is quote unquote voice. You have no power. You have no intellect. You have no emotional intelligence. You can't listen. You cannot put a crisis back in place. You just want to be heard. Like a child. I'm sorry. That's not men. That's not manly behavior. Okay. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified. We have some other stories around the world. I'll be right back.
It's your love that I've been missing. I saw your hugs, your touching and kissing. The love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, so let's catch some more updates. Mr. Dayo is a VDM guy. He said VDM is trying to be cautious and I think he's getting smarter by the day. All right, let's hope so. I have my personal doubts, but let's hope so. Let's see. Judge recuses self from Natasha's cases after Akpabio's petition. So as you can see, there is more and more and more exposure going on. Even why would a judge, Marriott and D, I know D will probably watch this later. Can you tell me what are the reasons why a judge will recuse himself from this kind of case? Why? Tell me if I'm wrong. A couple of things comes to mind. Bribery is too dirty. I don't want my hands in it. They are sending threats over to my house, allegedly. What else? Conflict of interest of some type. I guess all of those who fall under that, right? Why is Justice Obiora Egwatu of the High Court in Abuja recused himself from the case filed by Kogi Central Senator Natasha Akpoti Udwanga, which contests a suspension from the Senate? Why? What are the reasons? So we can all group them under conflict of interest, right? Can we be? What are the possible specifics? I'm wondering, right? But anyway, shout out to President Atiku Abubakar. He said a lot, but let's listen to this.
When Akpabio was a governor, he was corrupt.
You know, he was corrupt. Not only he was corrupt, but he was also in the habit of women.
So who do you think is going to head the coalition, and are you going to run for president again?
We had a similar, merger in 2014, and about.
All right, Atiku is holding strong. He's still trying to run for president. I think it's a bad idea, but what do I know? It's too early for me to tell. What is this? 2025, 2027 is coming up. Oh, he's trying to hold strong, but I don't know. But did you hear what Baba just said right there? Let's go back here. Let me see. Listen.
Reports that when Governor Akpabio was a governor, he was corrupt.
When Governor Akpabio was a governor, he was a governor during the Obasanjo era, I think. Obasanjo / Goodluck Jonathan era. He was a governor of, was it Akwa Ibom? I'm not sure. Uyo, somewhere in Uyo. Uyo is in Akwa Ibom, right? And was he corrupt? Atiku said what?
No, he was corrupt. Not only he was corrupt, but he was also.
Not only he was corrupt, but he was what?
So in the habit of.
He was also in the habit of abusing.
Women.
So who do?
Abusing women. Ouch. That is a former Vice President Atiku Abubakar saying that. That should carry a lot of weight. What should we pick? The wife or the Vice President during his time? Now that the bigger fish has said it, let them try to fry him. Let's see. Somebody said this is not evidence. It's not presentable in court. Okay, well, we shall see. Somebody said allegedly. Now for poor man. Baba said no. Forget that allegedly nonsense. He said it with his full chest. See the way Tinubu is making it look like Atiku is a good man. I hope Akpabio's wife, Voltron Defender of the Universe, heard this. It's not looking good. Atiku said, he has an habit of abusing women. That is a lot to come out of Vice President Atiku Abubakar. That is crazy. They know either or both parties socially. Atiku. Right, so the conflict of interest, right? Atiku calling someone corrupt, but he added the abuser layer. You see, the Atiku being corrupt thing, it's also a laughing matter too. But let me just say, maybe this is all political. Don't take it to the bank. Maybe it's all political, Akpabio just discovered his wife has lips. Wala. Let's keep going. There's some other stuff here. Senator Natasha files disbarment petition against Imasuen. Who is Imasuen? You guys know who Imasuen is? I covered Imasuen here the other day. Imasuen, I don't know his name, but I think he's a senator. Senator Maswen, Neda Maswen, is the Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria from Edo State. He was disbarred by the New York State Supreme Court in 2010. That's the first line now in his Wikipedia. I bet that was just updated last week. He was disbarred by the New York State Supreme Court in 2010 for professional misconduct. This is the guy that was presiding over the committee that declared Natasha Akpoti suspended for 6 months. He was elected in 2023 to represent Edo South Senatorial District in the National Assembly. He is a member of the Labour Party. Imagine somebody's legacy straight in the poto like that. Sokwe mado, sokpoti lo, oti lo. Sokpoti lo, oti lo. Somebody say, I hope these battles initiated by Princess of the Senate will not overwhelm her. Chai, this woman has very terrible advisors, always taking the wrong steps. I can now see why her people wants to recall her back home. Do me a favor, if you take the side to this kind of comment, okay? I'm going to remove my emotions now. You're right, I've been emotional all along. You're right. After all, I've never been emotional before. It's just today. Okay, you're right. So let's look at this case squarely in the face, okay? This person, okay? This person with their full chest on the internet, so let me pronounce their name. Leye Shofoluke 1. Leye _ Shofoluke 1 said, I hope these battles initiated by Princess of the Senate, as fondly called by its Senate President Akpabio, by the way, allegedly looking to enter Kwekus. I hope these battles will not overwhelm her. Please tell me how this battle, from a logical, purely logical, you know, you are never emotional. Okay, you are sometimes, but purely logical standpoint, how could these battles overwhelm her? Tell me, particularly with respect to her filing disbarment petition against Imasuen, who was already disbarred in New York, by the way. Tell us. When they asked him, he said these are just his enemies. I guess the New York Bar Association, whatever they call them in New York, I guess they're also enemy. Gentlemen, tell me, mostly you that fall on this side of this argument, sadly, I hate to generalize, but it's mostly what I see, you know. Another person, Solar Choice 1000, let's call that person a woman, an analyst woman, who is analyst, a woman. Shout out to analyst women. Chai, this woman has very terrible advisors. Please tell me how she has terrible advisors. If she say the guy is responsible, right? Is a Senate committee for, what do you call it? Misconduct, blah, 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 right? Senate committee for misconduct, behavior, morals, ethics, and whatever they call them, right? We're filing for disbarment of this guy in Nigeria because the guy left from here and went and opened a chamber in Nigeria, and they didn't do any research to where it's coming from. Shout out to my country, Nigeria. Anyway, tell me how this was a terrible advice that they gave to her. And tell me, are you saying that she has to show up in court by herself every time when they are addressing these issues? Maybe. I don't know. What do I know? I'm asking. I just want to know. Always taking the wrong steps. Please, how was this a wrong step? Okay, if anything, I don't think this woman cares about coming back to the Senate. I wouldn't advise her to go back into that Senate, because what's the point? When her voice is louder than ever before, she could probably make better impact using the voice that she just gained right now. She will have better impact, and she can still make money if money is what she's looking for. If she's looking for some kind of, I don't know, what could she be looking for? Validation? I think all of this is a lot of validation, to be honest with you. So I don't know why she will feel the need to go back to the Senate. I would want her to be pronounced back to her seat, but then resign. But I don't think it's safe for her to go back into those chambers anyway. So how is this exactly wrong steps? Wrong step towards what goal? What would be the end goal because we say steps with respect to what goal exactly. Anyway, the person can now see why her people wants to recall her back home. Okay, speaking of recalling her back home, we'll come back to this one. I'll come back to this one. Speaking of recalling her back home, this young lady that you're looking at on the screen, some Charity Ijese, is the woman desperately, according to Sumata's blog, hunting for Senator Natasha's seat. There's a video. There's a video somewhere. I'll find it. But this it wasn't too. It didn't take that long before they realized that she's associated with Yaya Bello, who is also an enemy. A friend of my enemy is my enemy. All right, let's go back to here. Right. Okay. So, of course, Natasha, again, she's filing all this paperwork. She's filed a petition against Senator Akpabio, of course, but this is actually the affidavit supporting our evidence to back up her allegations of sexual harassment. Okay. Wala. Let me take a deep breath. There's a woman here. Why do I keep saying there's a woman, there's a man, there's a woman? Because people are people. People are mad in general. And it is what it is, you know. So that's why I tell you, that gender warrior thing, put it down. Who are you fighting for? Whoever you're fighting for, they don't have sense like that. Anyway. So it's a go, Natasha, go. A woman said, is this a woman? Yeah, it looks like a woman said, jokes on her. Is that an evidence? Somebody said, is that an evidence? Somebody is filing affidavit. What they call it? Affidavit to support evidence, something like that. Okay, supporting evidence, right? The person, is that an evidence? Okay, somebody is still patiently waiting on the internet for her to show a screenshot, VDM style of evidence on the internet. Oh. The internet is undefeated. The internet is undefeated. Hey. Anyway. All right. So, of course, I'm not going to read through that. That's legal jargons, right? So this woman, Charity, just says the woman desperately hunting in the 2023 Kogi Central senatorial election, only 106,000 votes were cast. Yet a recall petition against Senator Natasha Akpoti now claims to have 250,000 signatures, more than double the total voter turnout. This glaring contradiction raises serious concerns about fraud. Charity Jesse, working with the APC, is at the center of this scheme, falsifying records and fabricating signatures. They actually brought Ghana must go. Some people actually said that they look like armed robbers that have been arrested, or maybe some kind of drug dealers or something. I don't know. But somehow they allowed them to take this picture. Will go down in history. You never see anything yet.
Sorry.
This picture will go down in history. Her desperate attempt to unseat Senator Natasha is a clear act of political sabotage. The people of Kogi must reject this fraudulent scheme. If you remember, a few days ago, there was a picture of some people on a line, and eventually they interviewed a few of them, and they said they had no idea what they came there to sign. They just told them to come out and bring their voters card and ID cards and stuff like that. Somebody said, women supporting women in the poro. Sorry. Anyway, so of course it didn't take that long before they pull out her picture with Yaya Bello, who was obviously an enemy. So this is Natasha showing up in Kogi, of course. A bunch of people hailing her. In the middle of all the 250 signature, blah blah blah. This doesn't look like somebody that they hate, but again, we can't make anything out of this. Even Showore used to have people like this, and when it was time to vote, he got 30,000 votes. But it's okay, whatever. But I have no doubt that she has supporters, real supporters, and I have no doubt that she has people who also are against her and whatever she stands for right now. Speaking of what she stands for right now, let's do this. I'm gonna come right back. Okay, I'm gonna come right back. I know that she has supporters, but I want to do like a quick intermission with Mr. Jide Kosoko. Yeah, the actor, the legendary actor Jide Kosoko was an honest bunch. Okay, so I'll be right back. Okay.
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, so as I said, Mr. Jide Kosoko, Prince Jide Kosoko is actually one of the legendary actors, Nollywood actors out of Nigeria. Highly celebrated 71-year-old man. He's also a director, producer. You know, I guess he ended up on Honest Bunch podcast. Let me talk to our elders for a second. Our elders, I think you should have a conversation with a very wise Gen Z, not millennials. Oh, there's some weirdo millennials out there, not Gen X like myself. Oh, like find a Gen Z, a very, very wise, emotionally intelligent Gen Z. By the grace of God, I'm raising some of them here. Actually, these ones are not Gen Zs. These ones are like Gen, what do you call them? Alpha or something. They are like after Gen Zs. Okay, they exist though, but talk to them. They understand your point of view and they'll help you. It's very dangerous to go on a place like the internet now and talk, but let's listen to what he has to say about sets for roles and stuff like that.
I have spoken. Daddy, you know, you mentioned that discipline is key, right? And we've had situations where maybe young actors or even young actors come out to complain about being sexually harassed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like how do people that you, like
what is sexually harassed? I don't understand.
Like sex for roles.
Okay, let's pause there for a second. Do we need to go any further? I think we should, because this is opportunity to educate people. Okay, and maybe educate some of our parents. There's a good chance even my parents will talk like that. They don't really understand how it's a disconnect. So first of all, disconnect in languages. It's a language barrier issue here. It's a language barrier issue there. Yeah, I don't want to be too quick to call them emotionally unintelligent. No, it's not necessary. These are our elders. If anything, speaking to my father, whenever I'm patiently speaking to my father, it's such a, and you guys have seen him, he was here as my guest. It's an emotionally intelligent human being. But there's a but, like this but, big old but, that we have to watch out for, and it's language barrier. So if it's not a controlled environment, oh yeah, they can miss ya. Oh yeah, very quickly, very fast. Let's go back a little bit.
Harass, you know, like how do people that you, like
what is sexually harassed? I don't understand.
Like sex for roles.
If I say I need to come and warm my bed so that I can give you this role, and you say no, you don't want, go, you don't want, they cannot force you to do that.
Should I move any further? Should I go any further? Do I need to go with his full chest? All right. I'm not laughing at him. I'm laughing at language barrier is a bastard. But when you had coconut head to language barrier, another level. Let's, with all due respect, our parents, they do have a certain level of coconut head. they do have a certain level of coconut head, and yeah. Let me see here. Let's use it as an opportunity to. I want you to be patient. If you hear anybody talk like this, maybe you know better. What you know better is not necessarily them. What you know better is in terms of how we need to push completely against that. And you need to be patient and educate them. Take it as an opportunity to educate them. Okay. Let's authentically answer the question. Okay. That is right there sitting on Google, right? But people will, maybe some people with coconut head may attempt to use common sense to answer the question or to define sexual harassment. But on the screen right here is probably the minimum you should be willing to at least share with them. And then obviously you have to break it down into nuances and context. Okay. What did he say? He said, if I ask you to come and warm my bed in exchange of
sexually harass.
You know, like how do people that you like
What
talk?
what is sexually harass?
So that question right there was not designed for you to go and pull up a dictionary meaning. That's a rhetorical question. What it means is you need to listen a little bit more. Listen actively. No, it's going to test you. If you are Gen Z woke person, you're going to get triggered. Don't get triggered. It's not the moment for you to get triggered. Just calm down. Okay. Drink water. Say, Daddy, hold on 1 second. Let me drink water. So that question was actually rhetorical, right? You might even say, what do you mean by what is sexual harassment, sir? And then he will probably open up for you and say, I'm trying to tell you I don't believe in that. He will just tell you straight up. But I think it's, to be fair to Prince Doctor, he said we should call him Dr. Otumba Prince Jide Kosoko, who I respect. Not, I don't know him personally, but just as an actor, veteran actor, director, producer. Some might even argue he's an elderly statesman. Like, this is part of our pride here, right? To be fair to him, this was a good interview. He shared a lot of. I watched the whole thing. I like to watch the whole thing, so I don't take them out of context. So I have watched the whole thing, but this one right here. So why are you picking on this one part? Because it's the small poison. That's all it takes. It takes the small kinky poison to destroy the food. So we must address it, right? So
I don't understand.
Like sex for rules.
Sex for rules.
If I say I need to come and warm my bed so that I can give you this role, and you say no, you don't want, go, you don't want, they cannot force you to do that. Forget.
Now, he said they cannot force you to do that. How accurate is that? Can they force you to do that? Can they actually force you to do that? Let's address it. See, I'm taking my time. That's how much time you have to take. If you're in front of an elderly statesman and they mistakenly, by mistake, Monsieur, you know, because I know that this man probably doesn't ask for sex for roles. Okay, he encourages it. He's not aware. It's not, no. He probably will even argue that I'm not encouraging it, but he needs to understand that his words are powerful, and there are people that look up to him, and not just him. Every elderly people that will watch this and they try to defend, you know, like we're too sensitive, we're too woke, and like it's. Anyway, let's go back to, can they force you to do it? What is the definition? It says sexual harassment is unwelcome sexual conduct. Okay, but I didn't mean sexual conduct. Well, you said warm your bed. Okay, let's just pretend it didn't say warm your bed. It's just because it's gonna say more. It's gonna say more, right? But it's just, I toasted you. I like you. I love you, like Nigerians will call it, right? It's just a toast. As in, like, I just have, you know, but I also have a role for you. I have something that could mean your livelihood to you, right? And is it possible that am I forcing you indirectly maybe subtly, maybe subconsciously. Maybe I didn't mean to force you, but am I effectively forcing you? Right? I didn't mean to force you. In fact, it's going to take me 60 years to figure out that I might be forcing you. But maybe in 2025, maybe I can learn possibly that maybe I didn't mean to force you, but effectively I'm forcing you. I'm sorry, my daughter, I didn't mean that. Or men sometimes. Sexual conduct that creates a hostile or offensive environment. I didn't mean to offend you, but could I be offensive even though I didn't mean to offend you? Listen, I woke up this morning, I forgot to brush my teeth. My breath is offensive, but I didn't mean to offend you. I couldn't smell myself. I couldn't smell, even though I did this, I still can't smell my own breath. I didn't mean to offend you, but I was offensive. Is it possible that I could be offensive? Offensive environment. I said, come and warm my bed. In my head, I felt like you could say no. You said no, it wasn't a big deal. But then the next moment, I gave somebody who was actually deserving of the role. You start to feel funny. You start to feel like, is it because you didn't come and warm me in my bed? But then you turn around and then you call me out on it. And then what did I do? I suspended you. Right? I'll just suspend you. This is a nuisance. Women should be addressing their mental stability before they come to workplace. Right? Does that sound familiar? And it can include unwanted advances. What is unwanted advances? It's an advance. Just say no. Just say no. Is it wrong for a man to just toast a woman? Yeah. No, it is not wrong. But could it be unwanted advances? Okay, what about after the first one? What if you tell her that the way you roll your waist, it must be something in bed. What do you mean? By the way, that's what Senator Natasha allegedly said. That's what she alleges that she's added on to it. That Akpabio said something like, the way you roll your waist. I'm like, Arakurinyi, may God help you. Omo, could you be offensive without intending to be offensive? That's when it crosses the line sometimes, unknown to you, but it's your job to have foresight. Gentlemen, it's your job. It's part of your responsibility to have some foresight to how your behavior can actually rub people off the wrong way, make an environment feel unsafe for them, especially when there's power dynamics involved. If you happen to be a Senate president and they happen to be just a senator, if you happen to be a part of a ruling party and they happen to be a part of the opposing party, if they happen to be a fine girl and they already feel threatened because every time a fine girl moves around, our attitude changes. Remember that, Baba, on RS News? Our attitude can change a little bit. It doesn't mean any harm. You see a fine girl, a fine woman, it is their beauty that is their problem. Wait, what? Does it sound familiar? We're getting somewhere. A request for sexual favors. Okay, that's just one of many, right? And other verbal or physical conduct of sexual nature. Okay, Baba is still talking, Sha. Hey, kudos to, with all due respect to Jide Kosoko and our elders that might struggle with, I think it's an English barrier thing. He's a well-spoken guy. When I say English issue, it doesn't mean you cannot formulate sentence. So that's not what it means. So it's something deeper. It's a moving target. Slangs might be involved. Evolution of languages or cultural or social environment can be involved in what I'm saying. But sometimes it starts and can actually end at the way we structure our sentences. What did he say? Because even he said, what is sexual harassment? I knew what he meant when he said that. It was a rhetorical question. It's about to like sexual today, sexual harassment, all these terminologies, all these woke and sensitive people. I knew exactly where it was going. So in that moment, which by the way, the host did a fantastic job because he was comfortable enough to say more. At least we can correct it. Right? He said like today, well, our woke people sensitive. Anyway, he's going to tell us more. But so I want to play more, not not to pick on Prince Jide Kosoko. If he happens to watch this, or somebody like him watch this, I want them to reflect and really pay attention to what they are saying. Okay?
Forget about it. I know some don't want, they cannot force you to do that. Forget about it. I know some ladies that equally come into the industry with determination that by the time I sleep with this and sleep with that and sleep with that, I will get my name.
Okay, so what he just said is that because there are some Olosho level type of ladies that will come because they're already predestined to sleep with you to get roles anyway, somehow that should equal to it's okay. That's the only way I can translate that. But I think he's going to correct that in a minute. So let me give him a pass on that. But before sometimes you don't have a chance to correct it. That's why we must watch our mouth. But he's going to correct it.
So all this sex for all thing, I don't do it. I have never done it.
I believe him when he says I've never done it. I believe him. I believe him when he said that. But it's not about Baba Jide Kosoko particularly. It's about everybody else that will listen to this, that will do one of two things. That will say, now, go back, but the sexual harassment nonsense. Those people, that's one side. Another side is people that will not listen the way I'm listening right now. They will just drag Baba. You can even tell in the interview that Baba is already like feeling like you guys are going to try to drag me, Abi. He was already on the defense when it comes to that. A common ordinary toast in Nyimu. They want to believe this woman wants them. For most women, it is a forced choice due to economic conditions. Yes. So, listen, he's saying more. He's saying more. So now he's saying, since some of them come because they're already ready to sleep with somebody, nobody forced you to do it. That phrase, nobody forced you to do it, does not negate the fact that you can still be guilty of sexual harassment.
In my life, I have never done it, and I will not do it.
It's not enough that you've never done it, sir. We're also responsible to our words, which is what this whole segment is about.
But the truth is that when two matured people see themselves, how will you call you as an actress? How will you say somebody will not be in that industry that will love you?
Okay, so he went straight for love, not even like, see, I told you it's an English issue. Now, if you notice, he did something like this. He did this, right? He did this, meaning equal. And unfortunately, it is not equal. Senate president is not equal to senator. In any, they're equal technically because they're both senators, but not really. It's a presiding officer. It's a part of the ruling party. In reality, these are the things they would assess in a court system that social media might not assess. They will assess all the nuances that is not necessarily obvious or technical, right? They will assess beyond technicalities, right? To make sure that that there's actual in real life that as close as possible to fairness, right? So when he did this, it's not accurate. So that at that point, he obviously was already wrong, right? Because again, when there's power dynamics involved, then this definition might need to be expanded. Make sense? The definition, even the dictionary meaning will be expanded in real life. Okay. Jim, hello, how you doing? Yes, they can force you by the way they treat you afterwards. Yes, even subconsciously, even if they don't mean to treat you anyhow, you can still be forcing them. Yep, because now their sense of judgment is tampered with, because once upon a time you were chasing them down, suddenly you stop chasing them. They can actually interpret that as you're trying to harm them. Because what did Natasha say ever since the nightclub incident, right? So even if that was your intention or not, it doesn't matter anymore. You put them in a position where their sense of safety is being questioned, right? Mr. Dayo said, MOP, in fairness to Prince Jide Kosoko, an average Nigerian man don't know what sexual harassment, because daily is a normal way of life to most of them against the woman. See, I want to be careful with saying that I know exactly what you mean, right? But there are men that are kind of aware of this for the longest. There are, and I want to be fair to my brothers to not generalize them. But I will say this, I will yield to this, that they are common. Doesn't mean they are majority though. It doesn't mean they are majority. But the common ones, they are enough to make women feel uncomfortable. I'll yield to that, you know. But there are men who are already aware of this, and we just need them to. We need to educate more people and more people. Exactly, Akmabio just observed the waste. Now we have international crisis. Problems. I don't want peace. Problems always. Uncle Patrick, sir, welcome, sir. Say, Jide Kosoko for my hand. Let him agree that his colleagues do it. There are no rules against sexual harassment in the industry. That's because if he's in this argument, in this interview, he was making a case for need for government body in Nollywood a lot. But if he's the one making case for them, that means he's telling me that once they bring up the issue of sexual harassment, at least as of now, hopefully people like him will listen to this and know that they need to have some conversations around this and educate themselves. That means he's saying he might be dismissive of the topic of sexual harassment. So of course they get away with it because to him, you said no, Abi, so what is the issue, right? Chinya said that's true. Jobs should start sensitizing their employees by doing sexual harassment trainings, conflict of interest. As a matter of fact, I'm bringing on board right now a corporate client, who all they do is create training around this kind of issues, compliance issues. Okay, so it's real. Nigerians need to educate themselves. It's real. So like I'm agreeing with Mr. Dayo now in this context that if 2 out of 10 people think it's normal behavior, then we have a problem. That's one too many. Then we have a problem. This is how old people roll though. I'm not surprised at his comments. So we must fix it. It's just love. Nowadays, women don't take love lightly. It's just love. I'm sorry, but I don't believe Uncle Jide Kosoko. You think he's done it? I just chose to believe him. It's just a belief, right? I don't know what the facts are, right? God have mercy upon us.
Even if you don't love that person, you must see somebody that likes you. That's a producer.
Let's go back.
Say somebody will not be in that industry that will love you. Even if you don't love that person, you must see somebody that likes you. That's a producer.
That's a producer.
But it's not on a professional ground. Like if that's what they are coming for. I mean, this is a professional setting, so they shouldn't be able to say things like that. Yeah.
Nobody's.
So shout out to, what's her name? I always forget her name. This lady, she's what's her name? Tone. I think her name is Tone. Yeah. All right. The Gen Z body of the show. She's a professional because they're trying to help him. But forget that thing. I don't know if you can help him.
Setting. So they shouldn't be able to say things as a like weapon. That. Yeah.
Nobody's. Oh God, I'm not making case. For anybody. Yeah. But I'm saying that there is no industry that it doesn't happen.
All right, that's not what they wanted you to address, sir. Even the way he just said this statement, I am hopeful that he can listen to this kind of stuff and say, you know, you're right. I need to adjust on that statement. I believe that he's a guy that will listen to this and will say, you know what? You're right. We should not encourage it. One is one too many. Just 2 or 3 out of every 10 people being harassed in their workplace where they're supposed to feel safe is just one too many. I don't have to wait until it's my daughter or it's my sister. We must make sure we do everything in our power to make you feel safe. I understand that men might take a liking to a person, but they must know where to draw the line to not make a fellow professional person feel uncomfortable. There's no need to bring in, of course, they will love each other. There's no need to bring that. That's another conversation entirely, right? What we need to tell people is to be guided, right? If you have to use. Let's continue.
So how do we cope that?
I will not mention it here, the names. But I know of even a magistrate that paved our own way for our own success.
In Nigeria.
Nobody can force me to say it.
No, we don't
I'm
know.
saying voluntarily. You understand? In Nigeria, I took it to that level. Doctors and nurses in God. They know they. No, it's a question.
How long have I been muted? Okay. What was the last thing you guys heard? Anyway, let's continue the conversation. They will just be normalizing nonsense. They don't want to change their mind. They have coconut head is the point I was making. Respectfully, they do have coconut head. You cannot correct them when cameras are on because they're already in a defensive mode. You cannot correct them in public or in the presence of other people. You must have the skill set to have some patience and have a conversation, put up some case studies for them, and come from a graceful standpoint if you're going to help them. Now, but imagine this person presiding over a government body governing Nollywood, right? And if you don't know how to address these issues, or you come from a prideful step, because you too, as a coconut head who knows everything, Gen Z, if you approach them wrongly, they will just say, "Oh, forget that thing." They just say, "Forget that thing." And by the way, there are other people, your colleagues, who are willing to yield to them because of atenuje and other reasons. Some of them ignorance. Okay, so being that it happens in industry doesn't make it right. It needs to stop. Yep. Generalize and deflect. Shalaye is a bastard. Daddy is doubling down. Yeah. Does that make it right, Baba? We need be better. Ola, you're on mute since 7:22. Okay, just for the okay, for how long was I on mute for? They're doing it doesn't make it right. Okay, we can't hear anything after Baba Mishad. Okay, all right, I think I've addressed it. Am I back on? Yes. Just tell me I'm back on now. If you tell me I'm off, tell me I'm back on now. These people. Everybody, you'll have repeat every damn thing you said. Oh, because I know it was good. Even in private, they won't listen. You need to have a certain type of skill set. Okay. Thank you. Uncle Uncle Jide Kosoko, we all know they do it, but it's like you're promoting bad behavior. Uncle Jide Kosoko, how do you advise your daughter with similar experience? All right, so I'm back on. All right, so let's keep going. I don't know why it muted me.
Well, funny, if somebody introduces anything to you, if you are not interested, say no. But if you want that role, by all means, and that means you want to dance to his tune. I'm not saying it's right to have introduced that to you. But if he says it one way or the other, and you fall to it, that's your business. How does that concern the whole world?
Okay, so first of all, it's not a he thing. Women do harass men in workplaces. By the way, we have a case of, in fact, I may just bring that up right now because all of this is merging together, small. We have a case of a young lady. Let me see if I can pull that up. A teacher who was actually, this is also linked to somebody making an argument for single motherhood, right? And of course, when people feel the need to shalaye, they will miss nya. So in that case, they kept defending and making it about the he or she thing, gender thing. It is not, these things are not gender thing. We do know that certain offenses will fall on one side than the others. We get that. That's very true. Like, for example, our society is not as safe for women and children as it is for men. Why do we say that? Because the predators tend to be men. But guess who tends to be the protector? Also men. So if you make that a case of gender warrior for yourself, you're wrong. You're wrong. And if you don't correct that, God will not forgive you. I will allow God to forgive you. Not like God is my subordinate. I'm just saying, I will pray to God to not forgive you if you don't get rid of every sense of gender warrior in you. These are societal issues, but there are some things because of our social construct that makes men vulnerable to certain things and women vulnerable to certain things. There are double standards on all ends. But I'll go to this other video after we finish this Elder Jide Kosoko issue. Let's keep going.
But stop using. I don't even also want to say this. I know of
then don't say
popular actresses.
Oh my God, he's gonna say
pass through that method to attain their level. Now they are complaining about it.
Oh wow. Maybe they are complaining about it because it wasn't funny going through that. It's just like what you've gone through in your life and you don't want your children
younger people
going through it and you protect them.
God, continue protecting them.
He said, forget about that. Just protect the children. How do you protect the children? By coming up with policies that prevent the perpetuation of that prevent the perpetrators of this type of offense. You see, ignorance is not an excuse. Ignorance is real, but it's not an excuse. Ignorance, it's real, but it's not an excuse. You can see here that what's her name? I always forget their name. It's only Nedu's name that I remember, and Nedu is no longer there. Ezine is her name, I think. Yeah, she was trying to help him. Like, maybe they didn't like that they had to go through that to win. He said, "Good, protect them." How, sir?
Continue advising
the
young ones.
Continue advising the wrong ones. I can't resist the urge at this point.
How, Sway?
How? How do we protect the young ones?
How, Sway?
Continue to protect the young one. They really protected, and rightfully so. He deserves to be protected, but we must correct all of this. We must correct it. Let's see. Mr. Dayo says, I think I get the angle Jide Kosoko is coming from. Sexual harassment is very difficult to prove since it is not always pre-planned. It happens mostly suddenly and unexpected. Toasting can easily be mistaken for sexual harassment. I did another session. I'll see if I can link it later on why toasting is not the same thing as sexual harassment. They can overlap. I think that's what you're saying. But it's not that difficult. You just have to be open-minded enough to say, okay, if people are complaining about something, there must be something to it. That's all. If enough people, which is one person, by the way, is complaining about something, there must be something to it. The least I could do is listen, hear it. Same thing we're asking the Senate to do about Natasha's situation. Give it what we call a fair hearing. Then obviously if enough people are now complaining about it, then we have to create some policies. What policies? Policies could be simply educational in nature. So for example, sexual harassment for most parts in job places. It starts with education. Just educate people what can constitute sexual harassment, because again, it's a vague area. We don't even want to have to go and prove anything. We just want people to feel safe at work. It's as simple as that, right? So, and it's highly unlikely that you expressed your romantic interest in a woman and she turns around and call it sexual harassment. I say highly unlikely. Is it likely? Yes. It is highly unlikely that that's what she's talking about. But if it's a repetitive, unwanted advances, right, as interpreted by her, not you. I know you want it to be interpreted by you too, but if you could interpret it, obviously it'd be easy. But sometimes it's her interpreting it that way. Bottom line is that she doesn't feel safe. So maybe it's not even sexual, but it's harassment nonetheless. Then Baba Jide Kosoko must listen. And then we must continue to encourage other people to have policies in place to at least educate people on it. Okay. Why do I say that? Because if it becomes your daughter, then you will listen. Let's not wait until it becomes anybody's daughter, right? Or anybody's sister. Let's not wait before we listen. Mario says, let's just make it uncomfortable for women to be in your industry. Then they get offended when people accuse their women of being sex workers. Wahala. They do. Yeah, exactly. It's even their unwillingness to learn. Nadu is no longer there. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's not. And we miss him. I miss his coconut head. I was just about to say house. Someone should protect Uncle Jide Kosoko from speaking on some topics. That's what I'm saying. You know, presidents of country are actually protected from speaking on certain topics. Why do you think they have advisors? Right? That's the whole point, you know. Uncle Dayo says, just that some men don't know when to stop when toasting goes out. See, exactly. If somebody say no, they might still be smiling at you, but you already don't enter sexual harassment zone long ago. But they keep saying no. Some of them even pride themselves in able to brush it off, right? And some of them will come here and defend you. Sabi, why don't you just say no? See, everybody's threshold is different. You cannot use the way somebody handled it to judge another person's how they handle it. That's why you have public interest and public policies in place to protect everyone and not just one person who knows how to dust it off, right? They believe this notion that women says no when they mean yes. Lobbish thinking. Sometimes it's true, but you must protect your livelihood, gentlemen. Sometimes it's true. Some women actually believe that. Some women actually enjoy the chase, right? So you have to read the room. You have to, if you don't cross the line by mistake and you get corrected on it, you must be willing to say, you know, my bad. Back off of the situation immediately without arguing like a coconut head. Just if somebody says, on TV a few days ago, Mr. Wonderful from, what's the show? Shark Tank. Those of you in UK may not know what Shark Tank is. It's a show where they sell business ideas, right? Was on TV with this other lady. What's his name? Mr. Wonderful. Maybe see if we can put it up, actually. It's very easy to offend people. Mr. Wonderful and what's her name? Angela White. I remember. Oh my God. I can't believe I just remember that. Right? Mr. Wonderful and Angela White, they were on TV and it got confrontational really very fast, quickly. It got confrontational very fast, quickly. Let me see if I can pull this up. Yep. Let's see if I can. Why is this thing making me verify now? Get out of here. Okay. All right. So let me see. Yeah, let me play this for you as an example. Just as an example. I won't make it a whole topic. Actually, I probably should. I'll cut it out. I'll be right back, guys. I'm here today, so why not? Why not? I'll be right back, guys.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, so I'm gonna play this video for you guys. This is Angela Rai versus Mr. Wonderful. His real name is Kevin O'Leary. This the one on CNN. So listen to it.
He literally tweeted to the members of Congress that they, you don't have to touch me. He literally tweeted to these members, "Thank you for doing this. I don't want you."
Did you miss it?
I won't ever do it again. Thank you. But he literally.
Did you miss that? Let's see if you missed that. Did you miss it? Did you miss that? I'm gonna play it again. Okay. Listen, any man, if you're a healthy man, let's not front here. Okay, if you're a healthy man. Okay, I'm not gonna front now. Okay, with my full chest. If you're a healthy man, you've encountered this before. Remember, crisis is not the issue; it's how you respond to crisis. Crisis is already issue. Let's not argue with our destiny. Crisis is already an issue, but it's really more so about how you respond to crisis. Okay, listen to this.
Literally says.
No, let's go back.
He literally tweeted to the members of Congress that they, you don't have to touch me. He literally tweeted to these members.
So what happened? She was talking and he was stretching his hand. If you know anything of America, Americans generally don't like you touching them. Many of them don't like you touching them randomly because you're talking. You know, Nigerians, we can be in your face like this. Even me personally, I don't like people being in my face like this when they're talking. Nigerians, we have a tendency to do that. We're talking, we're touching, the touching, it depends, you know. But there's some people that are literally talking and you can smell the breath might not even be stinking, but it's like you can feel the steam hitting your face, and it's just a thing, you know. And some people don't appreciate that. And he was touching. I said, you don't have to touch me. And of course, that's an awkward moment. Nobody likes. It's a form of small rejection that hits you right here. So you have a choice. You can overreact to it, or you can just say that, oh, it's just a moment of another day. I don't collect stray bullet. Let me just. Oh, you can keep it moving. Right?
Thank you for doing this. I don't want you to touch me. That's my personal space.
I won't ever do it again.
Thank you. But he literally.
What did he say? I would ever do it again. Thank you. This guy obviously has a lot to lose. He's not like I won't ever do it again that he said right there. It's a big deal. It's bigger than a man who is succumbing to a talkative woman, as some might like to put it, right? You should have put her in her place. No, it's bigger than that. Obviously, you have nothing to lose if you think that way, right? So if I toast a person and the person don't want, straight bullet, okay, rejection, okay, keep it moving. On to the next. If it's a workplace, it's definitely on to the next after the first. You must definitely make that person wonder if you ever said it. An average human being will wonder if you ever said it, even if you meant what you said. Maybe you smiled too much and they felt like, why is it making me feel uncomfortable? And then you notice that they felt some type of way and you remove that from them. They will to shock them because you will remove your attention, put it somewhere else, and you treat them like everybody. They will forget, or they will wonder if it ever happened before. But when we sit in a place when we're trying to justify it, like it's just toasting. No, it's not just toasting. If it's repetitive, if it's not just toasting. If you toasted once and you continue to make eyes, or you may continue to make commentaries about their waist, how it is twisted, but it is not just toasting. It is not just toasting. If you continue to say you look beautiful this morning and you know you toasted her in the past. No, you can't keep saying that. What is the big deal? It's compliment. No, stop. Because now you are saying you have nothing to lose. You wait until you lose your job, your livelihood, before you realize it. Well, you shouldn't be that way. You shouldn't tolerate anybody says it. No. The point here is that you're a king. You have no time for bullshit. If you expressed romantic interest in a person, they're not interested, you got to keep it moving. And for the next set of interaction, maybe you have to work with that person. You have to, unfortunately, yes, you have to make it a point, make it your responsibility. Make sure they feel safe. Make sure it's not an issue. How you doing this morning? Good morning, miss. You keep it moving. They feel comfortable. They wonder. That might even get them to take a liking in you. You might even see some other signals later on. In which case, you have to read the room. You have to use some social cues. It's not cut and dry. Don't ask for this to be a cut and dry proof evidence, black and white in court. No, it is not. It will never be either. Okay, you're asking for the easy way out, and there's not going to be an easy way out. What you should know is that sexual harassment is a thing, and you must protect yourself from it. If that's how you have to think about it, then think about it that way. Okay, and what I mean protect yourself, that means by default you're protecting everybody around you from it as well. All right, so yeah. Uncle Patrick said Uncle Jide Kosoko lacks social intelligence. In some industry, he will be fired after all. Yeah, he will be made. Even if it's that big of a guy, they say, yes, sir, you have to go back and make an apology, make a statement. Don't worry, sir, it will boost your approval rate. People will advise him that way. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? See, Uncle Patrick, please, everybody, remind me to drop my link at the top of the first hour. At the top of the first hour, because I forget. Thank you, Uncle Patrick, for reminding me. This was supposed to happen 1 hour and 42 minutes ago. But anyway, speaking of, so that's see how Mr. Wonderful handled that, Kevin O'Leary. It's not a big deal that a woman rejected you or rejected your hand gesture. It's not a big deal. Grow some balls. It is not a big deal. Okay, let's see if we can finish this, Uncle.
How will you accept to go and sleep with a director because a producer because you want a role? Why will you do that? It is because
I dropped the link. Oh, sorry.
Some of them
I
lack
dropped it to the wrong
that
place.
training.
Let me drop it now. I dropped it to the wrong place.
The industry is expanded.
So this is what they will call victim shaming. He said because some of them lack home training.
Because you want a role. Why will you do that? It is because some of them lack that training.
Okay, he said that training. Now remember, Uncle Jide Kosoko also has children, children, grown women now, Shola, Kosoko, and the likes in the industry. So maybe he trained his children to never accept such a thing, or maybe those children are in a position where nobody will make such gestures to them or advances to them. We don't know, right? Let's just assume the best case scenario. Maybe he will never do it. Maybe he trained his children to never accept that thing. But as a leader, you can't just come from an anecdotal standpoint. You must be willing to listen to other people that don't have your similar experience, that may not be a daughter of Jide Kosoko and the likes. Okay, let me see who has visited me. I have August visitor. I'll be with you, right? I'll be right with you, sir.
It is not easy. The industry is expanded. We have 1,001 people that will take your role if you don't want to take it.
Hey,
but you don't have.
Doesn't that sound like a threat already? I know he didn't mean to threaten them, but that sounds like the kind of threat that will make them feel forced into such behavior, doesn't it? Right? Oh, wow.
Anyone that can do it the way you will do it.
True, that's true.
One, if I am Jide Kosoko. They cannot ask you to come and do Jide Kosoko. You do yourself. No?
Yeah, it's also at anecdotal level, personal level. I do encourage nobody can become you, the motivational spews and all that kind of stuff. But when we're talking about organizations, workplace, politics, policies, no, we can't. No, not so easy. One, if follow me, Shemi, no, not so simple. We must do our best in protecting people. Okay, we must do our best in protecting people. All right, I'll be right back. I do have a special guest on the stage. I'll be right back. Yeah.
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, Uncle Patrick, are you there?
Yeah,
we're still live. Don't worry, sir. Are you here?
Yeah.
You're the special guest, sir. You're our special guest.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. How are you, sir?
I'm good. You know, when I look at Nigeria,
Mm-hmm.
like what is echoing.
On your end? Maybe it's your end. I can hear me clearly. It's not echoing. Let me check. It's not echoing on my end. It's not echoing. Let me check. No, it doesn't echo on my end, sir. Are you hearing echo?
Are you hearing me now?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
So like Nigeria, I mean Nigeria is different from every other country. I don't know why. You know, something happened at my job. We had an employees meeting. So the new general manager, he's been there for like 40 years. You know, these white guys that just went to community college. So before the end of the meeting, so they now say, is there any question anybody has? So one lady now raised up her hand. She said she had a case of SH with the supervisor, but was swept under the carpet. So
sexual harassment, sir.
Yeah, that it was swept under the carpet. So the new general manager didn't even address it, just shut her down. I was like, what is going on? This man can't do this. This is bad. I said this man should be removed. So people are looking at him and saying, what do that mean? Before you know it, the man just wrote a letter, an email sent to everybody that he messed up, that he needs training, other people need to work. And I said, what is this man talking about? You didn't even give this lady a chance to even talk. You just shut her down. Ola, they remove him. Just nothing. You can't do that at a meeting. Everybody that somebody is telling you what you went through, you are not the person involved. You know, that's not how to do such a case. So he got removed for doing that. I was stressed. I told you people, what this man did is wrong. And you know, the case of sexual harassment in Nigeria is the women that need to stand for themselves. Well, I have a reason for that. You know, 1991, 1992, me and my friend, we set up a company. This man is a computer engineer. You know, in those days, we were teaching them a computer application. The bosses, the CEO, chairman of companies. Well, what my eyes saw, I was the one taking the classes. You know, in those days, in the days of DOS, this operating system, I had to use the computer. You have to teach them keyboard and all those things. They have a secretary that does that, but most of the big boss doesn't know how to operate the computer. So we signed up. We had many clients, and this training is usually done after closing. Maybe in a week, I might have 3 CEO that have to trade with their schedule. Ola, what my eyes saw. Sometimes I will go there, they will just give me money to go and have my lunch. You know what I mean? They are just carrying in the office with staff. The ladies that work there, people that I know, not one, not two, Ola. I was like, what is going on in Nigeria? That was when my eyes got open. So the issue of sexual is women, they have to stand for themselves and say, no, this must be stopped. People do it. They give their consent, but then it's not an excuse for you because you are a boss or you are in the position of leadership and just be doing that. It's wrong. Are you telling us our children, our daughters don't have future just because they won't live with you because you are the boss? And look at Jide Kosoko. I know him now. I know he's older than me, but I know where he lives when he was still struggling in Lagos. Him and Babaliwe were even living together in 5 days in Lagos. If you know anybody that knows Lagos very well, you know. So what that man is saying, like it's like he doesn't even care. You know, if one an industry that would thrive with value, integrity, there should be a rule to say no, we don't want this. We know they are doing it. People then, make people scapegoats. It's like, what is she saying? What is this saying? No. So I'm gonna say it is the women. My wife told me her own case while in college, University in Nigeria, for a project. Our supervisor said no, unless Senator, you must come and meet. Said, no, my wife, how can you do that to me? My wife, dad has to go there. He has to invite one professor too, and the professor has to go to the man office say, you can't do this to my daughter. Guess what? Ola, the man is the vice chancellor of the university now, president of the university now. He's been there more than 40 years. He's now the vice chancellor. So why would people be doing that? So yeah, by God's grace, my job, I have more than 15 ladies under me. So will I now go and be? No, I can't do that now. Both married and unmarried. So will I now say, okay, let me just no. So I don't know. That's why I'm saying Nigeria is exceptional. That's why Senate president can get away with what he's doing. That's why all the senators can back him. That's why a former senator can come to Arise and be talking about their beauty is a trap. How can you be saying that? That the beauty of a woman give them away. What do you mean? Does it make sense?
He said the beauty is the problem. Her beauty is her problem.
That's what I'm saying. All these baba, go web them.
Yes, sir.
All this like
Yeah, may the good Lord help them, sir. May the good Lord. I guess it's a complex issue, but we will break it down until they get it.
Yes, Allah keep good work. All these Gen Z and whatever, don't have to grieve for them.
Yeah, happy. All right, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right,
sir. Yes, sir. All right. That was Uncle Patrick. Absolutely a blessed man. I appreciate you, sir. Hit the like button, share, subscribe. I want to close. I do have something I want to share with you guys as I close this session. And again, I'll be right back.
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, I do have another special guest on the stage. Natu, my G is here too. Gracious. Natu Alpha.
MOP.
Are you timing my segment or something? What's going on here?
No. So I want to take a nap.
First of all, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
That's good. How's business?
How are you? Welcome back. We're pushing.
That's good. So share with me. Talk to me. What do you? Let me first of all read what you just said here. You said, I am waiting for one actress that will come out and cast Jide Kosoko because he must have approached or tried that nonsense in the past. Explain yourself.
See, like Tia said, the way he was speaking like gave him away. Do you understand what I'm saying? He said, if you have been approached, I don't want to do it. There's somebody else that won't want to do it. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah. That was how they ended it, right? It's crazy.
Yeah. But like you said, these older people need to work, need to have some of these Gen Z around them to be telling them that in this era you can't talk like this. This thing rubs people the wrong way. This thing, you know what I'm saying? Because you can't come out as an elder and be talking like that. Some of them, like you said, might have known what SH means. Some of them don't know. But also, don't forget that this man is an ancestor. He's from the era where they still believe in that patriarchy, and the man is the alpha and the omega. And if you don't want to do it, go, somebody else will do it. And like D Crown said, there are a lot of people that go to the industry to go give themselves for roles. Like, I'll just go. Remember, there was a lady that had a audition that someone came without a bra and she just embarrassed the lady. She was like, "Why are you
Yes.
coming for my audition without a bra?" Those
Yeah,
are the
yeah.
kind of people that are going there for a purpose. Like, if all it takes to give myself, I'll just give it. If that's what they want for me to get the role. But like Uncle Patrick said, we have to like train our young girls more to understand that you don't have to do that to get what you want. If you merit it,
Mm.
do you understand what I'm saying? And a lot
Right.
of times, the kind of people that do not merit it are the ones that are like, you know what? We had a girl that I went to Kaduna Poly when I was in Nigeria, and we had this girl that we went to school with. I'm trying so hard not to mention her name, but she'll do anything to pass. She doesn't know anything. She pays to see the people to write exams. She dates lecturers, like anything that you want her to do, she will do just for her to pass. So there are people like that. And then you have those people that know what they are doing. You can't tell me she's fine. If I come and they say I failed this course, I have calls with my courses with my full chest that I can
Mm.
ask for recall because I know that that one, you can't tell me anything about it. You understand what I'm saying? So, like on Patrick said, we women have to learn to stand, speak out, stand for ourselves. Men can't do that for us. Do you understand what I'm saying? We have to learn to
Right.
speak out. We have to learn to know that there are some things that we want it, we merit it, and we go for it. And we should not let anybody put us down. If that's what it takes for somebody to get this, then hold it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you also
Mm.
have to put yourself, and like we said in other life, I'm just trying to not to uh,
Right.
say something out of line, but even though sometimes it might be tough, there are some men that want to dare you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand what I'm saying? They will like, this one, they do like this, like this, like this. Just when they just find that loophole where they can get you, they will think they can use that one to bend your hand. It's just like somebody that has, yeah, his hand is broken now, and you
Mm.
want to take something, and you are giving him from the side of that hand that is not working. I want him to collect. Do you understand what I'm saying? Or you
Mm.
hit that hand, you know you're already, the person is already down. Like that senator that they showed today that was in, saying stuff to Ezekwesili.
Right. Senator
Like,
Nwebonyi.
bro, you know this man has zero emotional and social intelligence. If you can't control yourself when you're upset, you know there's a problem. Those are
Mm-hmm.
the people that we put here and I know those are the people that are supporting Ashasa's removal and recall. Because
Mm-hmm.
how dare you say that? Why
Yeah.
will you say that? And also commend Mama Obi for the steps she has taken, you know. Like we women, like we have to fight for ourselves. If we don't do it, nobody will do it for us.
Yeah.
You see, a man might be in the labor room with his wife to see the pain she's going through, but it takes another woman that has been through labor to understand what that person is going through.
Mm.
So I'm just gonna give you a quick story. So I have a cousin, right? They just got married recently, and they had a misunderstanding.
Mm-hmm.
From what they've been saying is that the wife is still in contact with her ex, and my cousin didn't take it
The wife is still in
funny.
court with the ex.
No contact
Contact
with
with
the
the
ex.
ex. Mm-hmm.
So I've heard that they said a couple of times that she went to visit the guy's mom to greet the guy's mom, and the story came to my cousin. It became a problem, and so everybody was trying to see the. I'm not supporting what she did.
Mm-hmm.
What she did is 100% wrong. But I think the perspective that I came from, my cousin was able to sit back.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
look at himself, look at the things that he has done because now he just called me, oh, my wife did, my wife did, my wife did this, my wife did that. I said, okay, let me speak to the wife. And when I spoke to the wife, I got a different version of what he said. And
Mm-hmm.
I spoke to him, I got a different version of what the wife said. These are two things. When she was talking about the things that he has done to her, she didn't talk to me about visiting her ex, being
Mm-hmm.
in contact with her ex. She only said his mom was sick. When he was talking about the wife, he didn't say that the wife was cursing, that he was cursing the wife out.
Hmm.
So you see, when I'm able to, so when I sat back, instead of me supporting my cousin, like I gave him his fault, and he was like, okay, I think I see what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think I was wrong here. Do you understand what I'm saying? So
Right.
it takes like a level of emotional intelligence for a man to be able to see and say that. But when we all want to see that and feel like, oh, this person is wrong, this person is doing this, you shouldn't have done that, and if you don't want to do, go. No, let's address the system that permits that.
Mm-hmm.
Mrs. Buko Awoshika was talking about the company that she built. They know her company don't take bribes. They know her company don't cut corners. So
Mm.
even when before the thing gets to her, her staff addressed it, and she was informing her. She's like, you know, we don't do it. Why are you informing me? She's like, oh, I already addressed it. I'm just telling you what happened. Because guess what? She already has a culture.
Mm.
She has already set that record straight. We don't do that. So if they're able to be able to address that, don't say, oh, if you don't want to do it, somebody else will do it. That doesn't make sense.
Mm.
That doesn't make sense. And you're gonna think that's all right until your daughter is used for that, your granddaughter is used for that, or your niece is used for that, then you come out and start speaking. That's where the problem is coming from. And that's her problem.
Yeah. Yep. It's you can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, yeah. It's the issues are the same at the very core, you know. At the very core, like you just said, it takes a certain level of emotional intelligence. I actually think it takes the first level. The first level is mastering self, you know. So, and as easy and as simple as that may sound, is it's one of the most difficult things for all of us to do, but it's something that we must learn how to do. Even with their generation, the older folks, right? I don't want to generalize that it's all of them that act that way. Because I know some very, very wise people that will, you know, that the way they, you know, the way they deliver this kind of conversation, they at least listen before. Because if you notice, if you watch the show, like I said, it's one of the finest out of Nollywood, right? But he was talking over quite a bit. He was quite, did I use the word repulsive? Very, yeah, I guess it's the word repulsive, right? He doesn't listen all the way to understand the context. But he happens to be a man of experience. So his answers, for the most part, were okay, particularly with respect to their industry. I see you, Mr. Dayo. I'll come to you after this.
Okay, real quick, right? This thing about the experience that we always talk about.
Mm-hmm.
I know that you cannot beat experience.
Right.
But the way the world is evolving and people are educating and updating themselves, if you work as a hospital attendant and they bring a new doctor today, you cannot tell the doctor because you've been working in the hospital for 50 years, you know how it works. No, that's his doctor, that's his skill, he went to school for that.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? So there's times that a level of education might beat experience.
Of course.
I do.
So
a very high place.
So you need both. That's the answer. You need education. You also need experience. And when I say education, I mean continuing education. Okay? Meaning it's evolving. Meaning you understand that what you knew yesterday, that you read about yesterday, is also evolving, right? So you must stay up to date with regards to that. And if you're staying up to date with regards to what you've been educated on, that usually means you're also getting experience, right? Because it's been updated because of new experiences, right? So you need both. The issue comes when somebody say, all I have is experience, I cannot learn anything from you. Then that person is just as wrong as the person who say, all I have is education and I'm smarter than you because I know more technology than you. They're both wrong. You need both, you know. There's a way Tamakpan Yoruba. I just converted to Yoruba, by the way. After all, you used to say Olong sometimes, right? So there's a proverb from Yoruba that Tomodeba lasho jagbalagba kole ni akisa jagbalagba lo. That means if you have more clothes than like outfits than older person, you cannot have more rags than the elder person, right? The point there is that yes, you can have maybe the newest outfits. I think what they're talking about these days. My wife was telling me about HOH the other day. How some people are dragging themselves around the internet because of HOH. I still don't know how to recognize HOH, but whatever. But the point is
What's
that
HOH?
exactly. It's a type of clothing material, I guess, like Guinea, like it's the new thing in town. They said it cost 3 million naira. So if you're not using it, you're not in yet. You don't know what is happening. You're not outside. So the point there is that you know there's some new things, new in things are coming to town from time to time. Yes, but you cannot use that to replace the wisdom of an elderly person. You know, so the elderly person must also understand that life is evolving and there are things that they don't have enough patience to be learning. I cannot, my iPad, my 6 years old daughter can operate it better than me. Do you understand? So when it comes to speed or mastering these devices, they will always be ahead of me. But in terms of how to interpret that, how to leverage that in real life, I will always be ahead of them. But only if I'm patient enough to at least get input from them, right? So it's a tricky conversation, and I know I say it a lot. Experience is the best teacher still, nonetheless. Does that help?
Sometimes.
All right. Let me leave you. I'm gonna drop you, and I'm gonna
All
bring
right, no
Mr.
problem.
Dayo up. Okay.
All right.
Thank you. All right. All right, Mr. Dayo, I'm coming right to you in a minute right now. Let me first, can you hear me, Mr. Dayo?
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Hold on right there, okay? Guys, I'll be right back.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, welcome, Mr. Dayo. How are you, sir? Welcome to the Prestige family. How are you?
I'm fine, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Can you help me educate Chinye? What is HOH? Do you know what HOH is?
Honestly, I'm hearing.
Yeah, for the first time. Okay, speak to me, sir. Talk to me. I'm hearing you.
Yeah. Anyway, on this Jide Kosoko's case and the way it's like Miss Yan, I like to say that on the live program. I mean, on that podcast, I think it represents the old school of a typical Nigerian background man that has, see, on the street. Let me start from here, sir. On the street, an average Nigerian man harasses ladies unconsciously, or rather, intentionally. Let me use that word, because, like, okay, now, like in Lagos here now, hardly will you see a beautiful lady going by that guys, area boys, men, they will not be making parties at her, and that is harassment. But it has become so common that people don't even seem to reference it again. Now, when it came on air, he was talking from that background. You know, the very first thing that he said was that he tried to make light of it, that what is there, as if it is nothing. But I know for sure he has 2 daughters and and I think one or 2 sons in these same industries. And those daughters, I don't believe anybody ever used that route with them. But what he said was quite wrong, because he tried to make light of it as if it is nothing. Though he said he does not condone it, but his own expression alone have given him away. That he does not condone it, but does not see anything wrong with it, which to me is not right. My thought goes to the women that happen to have gone through this, because it is not something that you can even easily come out to say that, see, this person is harassing me, this person has done this. So the next thing that they will tell you is that now let us take it back home. Why are the women in the house not supporting Natasha? It is because to them, they see it as a normal thing. Some women see it as a normal thing for men to harass women. To them, it is normal. Meanwhile, it's a crime. That's why I like what you said, that we need to do a lot of education of our people. And I like what Uncle Patrick said also, that at workplaces, at jobs, companies should like invest in training of the staff so that everybody will know what and what not to do within the workspace. Because it happens mostly within the workspace. One boss, one supervisor, or even colleagues make passes in a way that becomes an harassment to their fellow colleagues. And then mostly it is always somebody up there trying to use power on somebody that's lower to you, like the case of Akpabio and Natasha. And then I think there are some kind of an ugly fact or ugly rumor, I will say it allegedly, that is not coming out, that I'm not reading about their case. So to me, it is not becoming so messy. But the bottom line is that any man or woman that is being harassed, they should be able to come out and say it. And then if we can do anything to stop it, or at least to minimize it, it will really go a long way for us. But the way Nigeria is as of today, nobody is even thinking about it. Nobody is even taking it serious. That's why even the people in the Senate, when she rose up and said that she was sexually harassed, most of them do not even see it as anything until she now take it serious. So that's where we are. So Jide on his own side, Uncle Jide on his own side, was just being a natural Nigerian. That's the way that I see it. Nothing more.
Wow, thank you for that contribution, sir. I agree with you. That is a cultural norm, and we need to do something about it, starting with education. Because just getting emotional and just tackling them back with the same level of offensiveness in this is not going to help anything. Everybody will just shut down. Everybody will be triggered. But thank you so much for and please don't be a stranger, sir.
No, Allah, sir. Thank you.
All right, yeah. All right, let me bring Jim. You there?
Hello, I'm here.
All right, Jim. Hold on 1 second, okay? I'll be right back, guys.
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, Jim. How far?
I'm doing fine. Can you hear me?
I'm doing well, and I can hear you clearly. And whatever happened to your channel? What is going on with beauty, with Beyond Beauty? What happened to your channel?
I'm on break, actually. I won't say break. I can't just bring myself to the camera, but it's fine.
I know the feeling.
But I'm fine. Thank you for checking.
Well,
yeah. So what I would say about this is these old people that we have always carried with honor, we respect them so much from afar. It is always very embarrassing when you see them come to a platform like this to express their what kind of respectful language can I use for this man now? When they express their
be nice.
honestly, I'm always nice. When they express their ignorance and the unwillingness to learn, to understand that their time is quite different from this present time. Like you cannot. I'm actually watching that show, but I haven't gotten to the harassment part, so I still have a lot to watch. I don't know. I know that the daughters will be at home watching and be like, Daddy, you shouldn't talk like this. I cannot imagine my father going outside like that and be very arrogant and ignorant. And even when those ladies were trying to let him know, like, sir, did they force you? Will they force you? Well, what are you talking about? These people are desperate. It's like all these music artists that they will sign anything because they just want to, get a record
Just
label.
want to blow.
Just to blow. These people, some people, it's not just about passion. Yes, I need passion. I still also want money to run my life. So if you ask me to, come and rub my bed or come and warm my bed to get this role, I said I don't want to do it. You yourself on another breath said, oh, if you don't want to do it, there's somebody else that is ready to take up that role. You're not making it easy. Then you're saying, are you forcing them? You're not forcing them, but you're forcing them indirectly. And again, these people can go to like they can make sure that that girl, don't call her. She does not respect the elders. She's not, they would tarnish your, like, you cannot grow in that industry when they put their eyes on you, when you say no, and then it becomes a problem. I'm actually very disappointed, because these are people, honestly, growing up watching them, liking them, giving them honor, hearing them. There's one silly auntie like that also, what is her name, that was raining on TikTok one time, that, oh, if your husband do this, you don't. I said, all these women that we've been respecting, you people should stop coming out. We are not in your time anymore. If you don't know how to adjust to this time, or if you don't know how to, we are not saying you should throw away everything that you've learned. Like, you did your best at your time, but the current time now, women are not just going to be quiet. And also, let me link that to Natasha fight. I think Nigeria is not ready for that fight. And based on the level of education, exposure of Natasha, I think she brought the fight that Nigeria don't know how to handle it. Like, you said, if 8 people out of 10 people see that fight, like, what are you talking about? It's a norm. Then how is she going to even win that case? Imagine the disagreements between Obi Ezekwesili or whatever. What is her name again? That was trending today. That guy was just
His
shouting
name is
and shouting.
Onyedikachi.
Yeah,
Awanyabi or
I
something
don't
like that.
even know his name. I don't even want to know his name. People that I don't work in a corporate organization, because as the other guy talked and said, oh, I don't work in, I don't have to work in an organization to compose myself well at any place I found myself. I work for myself, and there's so many people that are self-employed. I don't expect that, because there is no any organization that will set up this training for you, then you have the right to be going around and be harassing everybody. For what? I don't work for anybody. I assume there's another guy out there that is not working for anybody. Now you see me outside and immediately you think you want to eat me up. Are you okay? There's just common manners, common decency, and we don't have that. And I think this is just a very deeply rooted problem from men seeing themselves as, oh, I'm the head, I'm the leader, shut up, and they kind of like carry that out to every ladies, every women they see outside, and be like, I have your mates at home, I have and they just don't have respect for women. That is just it. And it's going to take us, I mean, it's good that um the conversation is coming up now. Even all those in Senate, they will know that they buy market. Even if Natasha is not going to win this case, I love the fact that there is a conversation that is emerging. Like, people are not keeping quiet anymore. Not even with this Gen Z and all this generation that is coming after them. People will start waking up and know that, no, you can't do this. And this man, I give him, he's almost 80 something according to his age. I calculated it for him. He said he was born in 1950 something, right? So
It's a year. It's a year after my mother. My mother is
so he's
71.
almost 80, right?
He's 70. He's exactly 70.
He's in his 70s.
Yeah,
Okay.
70, 71. Yeah.
70 something. Okay. So, I mean, let's say he grows so much, he wants to spend 100. In 30 years' time, all those, their mentality will be, going off gradually. Like, he will be eradicating them one after the other. And as time goes on, there will be another generation that will emerge. Before, you cannot even talk about this, not to talk of, you want to fight about it. If Natasha, that is my point. on that very high standard, you know, I mean, you would think that there's some level that you will get to, that you would think that you have earned respect of people around you, to know that you work so hard to get here. There's some disrespect that should not be coming your way anymore. But no, some women actually see it as if like, no, you've gotten to that stage, meaning you have, gone through so much that this supposed not to be a problem anymore. You should just, brush it off. Like, no, I've dealt with so much, so this one, bring it up. It's not a like I. this is why I take break from YouTube, because the more I see all this news, myself and my husband, we argue about this all day long. He will say, "Go and set your camera." I said, I will just be shouting at myself in front of camera, because I don't. This is it is getting out of hand. But I'm happy that Nigeria is far behind, but we are catching up. It's going to take like maybe 3-4 decades. Imagine this conversation in 4 decades to come. It will not be the same. And we are having men. I mean, in this conversation, there's some men that are talking. I know this is wrong. Like, it is not like 90% of them are saying, "Oh, Natasha is wrong. You can just harass women anyhow." No, we have some strong men that, I mean, thank God for exposure.
A lot of them, and I'm happy to see it.
Yeah, it is not all of them. That's my point. It is not all of them. We have some men that were like, no, that is rubbish. You don't do it. They are even surprised that you can do that. They are surprised, like, no, that does not make any sense, because now I have my own daughter, I have my sisters, I have my mother. I wouldn't want anybody to do that to them. Now we have men that are protecting women, and in the next 4 decades, I know the conversation will be different. Mr. G, or our daddy Jide Kosoko, he should have retained his honor. I've seen many of his interview, but this one in particular, oh my God.
Are you saying the podcast is casting everybody everywhere?
No. They cannot. No, that all those ones is excuse. For me,
Excuse.
it is excuse. If you bring me to your platform, what is inside of me is what I want to. No matter how you want to control the narrative, because I understand you are the host. You want the conversation to go in a direction. You cannot bring what is not inside of me out. Like one guy that said they paid him 500, or he paid that tall for nothing guy. That tall for not. Like, how can you be so tall, grown, and then they manipulate me to Uncle go and see is that is let me not no Jumoke, no, don't do that. Don't do that.
Be nice.
Don't do that. So I don't think that claim of, oh, they make me say it. How now? How? Well, maybe they will have prepped them. What I'm thinking is maybe they will have prepped them before the interview. So this is what we're going to ask you. So if you now tell me this is what we want you to talk about, if it is not in my line of, what I want to be known for, I would disagree. Like, maybe you should look for somebody else. They are see, that is what we're saying. They are also looking for fame. They want people to know them. You blow when you go to Nedu's podcast or Honest Bunch or whatever. People will start talking about you.
Well, he was promoting a movie.
Yes, they are promoting whatever. So they are desperate to just go there and say anything. No, I'm not desperate for nothing. You can't tell me.
Trump won because of podcasts, so everybody's trying to.
Yeah. Because now I see why a lot of Nigerians like Trump, because we've been so used to abuse all our lives. These politicians have been abusing. They like the audacity of Trump, that he will be saying anything anyhow. They love it. They like it. That very. I mean. Yes, that is the same thing they are doing in Nigeria. They are complaining about, because if you like Trump, the way Trump is climbing down on the alphabet community, doing all this, why don't you like it when Tinubu is, declaring state of emergency? Is it different? Help me. God will help Nigeria, but Uncle Jide Kosoko did not try, and I can imagine what the daughters will be. You shouldn't have said it that way, but I understand they will make excuse for him as their father, and also understand where he's coming from, or because they are speaking English. Sometimes what you want to say in Yoruba translating to English might be different. This is the only excuse that I'm giving him. That maybe what he intends saying is not what is coming out in English, because you literally cannot translate Yoruba into the same English. It will sound different. That is the only thing that is the only excuse that I will give him. Maybe if it is a Yoruba conversation, he will probably express himself more, citing example, going deeper, because he has to go off of some question, then they will redirect him. Oh, that's not what we are asking. This is what we are asking based on
Yes,
what
that's
we
why
got in
I've been
Yoruba.
suggesting. That's why I've been suggesting. If you want to interview people, interview them in their mother tongue. It's not because they can't speak
Exactly.
English. It's because it's very easy
Exactly.
to mishear nonsense when you're speaking
Yes.
English and that's not your native tongue.
Yes, and you can use a word that actually means something when we want to dissect it as we are dissecting it here, compared to what the original intent that you really want to communicate. That is the only excuse I'm going to give him. And they should stop granting interview. Where they do not speak Yoruba, they should not go there, because now they are losing these public or people like us. I mean, in Nigeria, there is still, oh God, Nigeria stresses me. This is my point, please. Thank you. Is MOP still there?
I'm here. I can hear you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
that is all I have to contribute. Thank you for your
Thank
time.
you. Oshe, we'll talk soon, okay?
Yeah, bye.
All right. All right. Okay. All right. That was Jum from Beyond Beauty. Go support our YouTube channel, Beyond Beauty on YouTube. All right. So I do want to round up. Let me see. Okuda says, I think what they do is they throw questions that are controversial at the guest and carefully edit the portion of the response that will go viral to create traffic for the podcast. Yeah, you can't. I played the whole thing exactly how they put it out, and that was a lot. For them to sit down and edit all of that out to make it sound that way, nah, Okudaya, nah, nah, Okudaya, nah.
Stop the cap.
Nah, we're not gonna. With all due respect, I think Jim has a good point, which is if you know that you're a legend and you're going to go to Onyimomo, go to Masoyibo, go to our Yoruba platform. If your mother tongue, your native tongue is Yoruba, go to those platforms if you're going to grant interview, because we can probably hear your wisdom more. If you're going to speak English, reject it. There were points where he said, I'm not going to speak to that. Reject it. Don't answer to anything hyper sensitive on the internet right now today. You won't get a pass because you think we're sensitive in this generation. No, if anything, it will mean you are not good at listening. If anything, we just want to maintain the level of respect we have for our elders, and we're trying to protect you. And it doesn't mean you can't speak English. It's just that a lot do get lost inside of language in general. Okay, language in general, but he said what he said. We're coming from what did Charlemagne say? He said we're coming from a grape culture, the fruit grape culture. Okay, you can remove the G if you want, if you will. All right, but and we need to be aware that where we're coming from, nobody's judging where we're coming from. It just won't pan out very well in today's environment. But I have one last story to end this session today, and I will be right back. Sheesh.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
Okay, so if I didn't end it like this today, I won't do it proper justice. Okay, So as you're looking at on the screen, INEC rejects recall petition against Senator Natasha Akpoti Uduaga over incomplete details. Yes, this was the best way I could end this today because why? Because even though it seems like, America did not fall out of the sky the way it is today, where we're saying, they have rules of law and it didn't happen overnight. In fact, this took hundreds of years. It doesn't mean it has to take Nigeria hundreds of years. It just means when we're trying to correct these things, let's be guided. Okay, let's use grace. Okay, let's use grace to move accordingly. I know Jum just said she's fighting a battle that she probably can win. A lot of people have of that sentiment, but actually I'll rather be in the middle. I'll just say we don't know. I still think she should continue to agitate. I think she should never go back to Senate. She should fight for her mandate and get the seat back, and then give them middle finger and resign. That's what I think she should do. She should, however, fight until she gets it back. Fight as long as it takes to get it back. But then, please don't go back into those chambers. She's going to be much more useful outside of those chambers. But I think the way she's agitating right now, it's just one voice that makes up many voices. And the internet, the social media is a powerful tool that they don't know. Like, again, remember that Tinubu lost Lagos in the last election. Okay? Remember that Tinubu lost election in Lagos and including Abuja in the last election. Okay? That's only possible not because of social media voters, because of social media, the way it's able to amplify things. Okay? And people have been telling me for a long time, yeah, right, social media presence. So it takes time. We're creeping in on them already. Okay? You know what she said when she came on Arise TV that day, when Rufai, they were trying to be on time and they were kind of interjecting and interrupting her. You know what she said? She said, well, let's shut this thing down right now. I'll go to my Facebook page. Aha, that's a woman who had been nursing, like, wait, these people, if these people push me into a corner, what did they say about when you chase a goat? You chase a goat into a corner, what happens? Lay into a corner, see corner. I don't know if it's Yoruba proverb, but there's a proverb somewhere about that. The goat will face you eventually, right? The goat generally don't charge back at you. They don't chase you. They don't try to bite you like a dog or anything like that. No. But if you chase a goat into a corner, they will face you back and you might get harmed by that goat. Okay? And that's the case of what we're looking at, right? So that's why you should never say never when somebody say, oh, well, this is a public issue. I'm going to make a scapegoat out of these people. Is she not doing a good job at it already? Yes. Now, why would INEC reject the recall petition against Senator Natasha? Why would they do that? Is it because they are holy? No. Is it because they are trying to do the right thing? No. I told you to manage your expectations around human beings in period doing the right thing. Manage your expectations. They're not going to do the right thing unless it means gravitating away from pain or towards pleasure for them. Human beings are not capable of, quote unquote, I'm going to do the right thing because I'm just an upright person. It's bullshit. Babe, okay? At the very minimum, they're getting some kind of emotional feeling from it. They're feeling a void emotionally. Maybe it's giving them validation, or including when people do charity. Okay, that's not to water down people's charity. I think it's an applaudable thing to do, but when it gets down to this type of conversation, I want you to understand that people are not capable of, quote unquote, I'm just going to do the right thing. No, people will do what makes them feel right, period. See, they're still right there, but feeling is the key word. It makes them feel right. So INEC did not just wake up and say, you know why? Because INEC back is against the wall. They know that if we accept this in, it's going to, like, it's too dangerous. How come so? You think it's because of NTA? No, it's social media. Okay, and Baba Ned Nwoko is actively trying to push a bill to make all social media people have an office in Nigeria. They're doing things like that. We try to do some business with Instablog Nigeria and one way. They say, oh, do you have a business in Nigeria? Are you registered with CAC? Actually, I have some entity that I could use, but I'm like, you know what? So they can actively try to push back here and there and not, you know, when I look at it, I was like, why? You know, when I add 2 to 2, it was equaling to 0. I'm like, to hell. You know, it was good riddance to bad rubbish. That was it. Okay. Anyway, what's the point I'm making here? She's doing well. And I think the noise that she started making, she ended up in New York City. They're trying to find out how she ended up, who gave her the illegal way to get to New York into the IPU to come and be embarrassing Nigeria. Did she embarrass Nigeria? Why is she embarrassing herself? Leave that thing. None of us know if she's embarrassing herself or not. It's only time that will tell. From what we can see so far, I and the Prestige family have been right so far. From the day one, okay? You have no idea what you're dealing with. It's not about Natasha. It's not. It's about if you refuse to have sense, sense will come to you by force. Okay? Priceless if you say Nigerian mentality. Mario says, now she fit them, sha. Udemy says, someone has to fight the fight. It's a Yoruba proverb. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. All right. So I'm reading it right here on Mazi Tunde Ednot's page. Says, the Independent National Electoral Commission has rejected a petition seeking the recall of suspended Kogi Central Senator Natasha Akpoti Uduaghan, citing failure to meet basic submission requirements. In a statement signed by Sam Olumekun. You think Olumekun cares about this? He's just doing his job. INEC chairman of voter education, the commission emphasized that the recall of an elected representative follows a constitutional defined process and must fulfill all necessary conditions before being considered. Although over half of the 474,544 registered voters in Natasha's constituency reported, over half, even though only 100,000 voted, over half reported signed the petition. That's over 200,000 people signed the petition. Did you really believe that? But it doesn't matter, you know. INEC noted a critical omission, the absence of the petitioner's contact address. You know why? Because they're full of it and they have no idea what's coming for them. They thought it's going to be INEC as usual, business as usual. INEC, after all, is APC secretariat, allegedly. But INEC is not stupid. They're not going to do something that is obviously a lie. Not in this time and era where everybody's handheld device is a camera, right? There's just too much exposure going on. So they have to wisen up, right? It's not because INEC is going to do the right thing. Your power is not just in one thing. It's in optics, it's in your voices, it's in your emotional intelligence, it's in your social intelligence, it's also in your political intelligence, power intelligence, and of course, more importantly, self-intelligence. Because if you have no sense, and I say that respectfully, meaning you don't have a control of your own personal emotions. This is not a Nigerian cultural thing. There are emotionally intelligent people in Nigeria. I keep telling you that. If you don't have emotional intelligence, you're going to turn around and just look at this with one thing and just say, that's it. No, it is not. There's too many variables that's aligning that, okay, it is not going to be business as usual. Let's have some sense. Wait, Tinubu lost Lagos, he lost Abuja, and in 2027, it's not going to be as simple. Now, not only do Tinubu has to wisen up, even the Peter Obis or even the general public need to wisen up, because, you know, if somehow he still was able to, quote unquote, allegedly steal the mandate, he's going to sharpen his skills in stealing mandates. What are you going to do about it? Keep asking for people, human beings, to do the right thing? It's not enough. Okay, yes, they should do the right thing, but that's a fantasy. It's politics. This is human beings. It's not going to be that simple. You need a little bit more than just asking people to do the right thing. Okay? If like Uncle Patrick and everybody says, speaking up is part of it. But speaking up without wisdom is stupid. And a lot of people actually do that. And I want you to take that home, go back home, go and listen into what I just said. Speaking up without wisdom is foolish and stupid. And it's not going to work just because you think you're doing the right thing. No, life simply doesn't work like, I hate to break it to you. Life does not work in that way. Okay? It's not going to be as simple as doing the right thing. That's bare minimum. That's the first thing you should do as a human being. It is not enough. Everybody else is trying to do the same thing. Even when they're stealing, cheating, and lying, all of them are still claiming they're doing the right thing. So it's not going to be that simple. You need to come up with additional wisdom beyond right and wrong. And I think this young lady right here, Natasha Akpoti, I think she has good advisors around her. This is not the time to cut corner. No. Listen, you have noise, you have clout. Use it, leverage it, drag them by their blockers, drag them everywhere, but be safe because they removed all the aids. Please be safe. Okay? Be safe. All right. It says the representative of the petitioners did not provide their contact address. How would they know? Because they're caught up in their emotions. They just want to remove her. They call it because of misconduct. Nobody's representing them. Instead of them to be fighting for their own, they'd rather, of course, follow the foolishness. That's all I have for you today. Hopefully, you've been enlightened, educated. Do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications. Our next session is going to be a relationship marriage coaching class. Relationship dating marriage coaching class. Okay, so come ready for that one. Enough cruise, but hopefully you got something out of this. Again, hit like, share, subscribe, turn up your notification. Hopefully you've been enlightened, educated. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.